has all enjoyed your task we're filling, right? Because the teams weren't ready. We were clearly having an issue with the ENCE side of things. And now we just went to start this one. And
people are calling us unprofessional in the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
What do you want to do about that?
Nothing. Close the chat. Don't read the chat. When I stream at home, the one thing I try and avoid is the chat.
Yeah, but it was working well when I was trying to get podcast mode engaged, you know? Like, there's some people ask questions there. Some people don't have Twitter accounts.
Okay. Well...
But yeah, you have to just weed through the wacky. That's for sure.
Yeah, now this one is about to get underway.
Yeah, and I'm actually really hyped for this one. Like, this is actually what most have considered to be like the most hotly anticipated competitive one in terms of the David versus Goliath head-to-heads that we have in these playoffs. I am seeing readies in the chat, so ladies and gentlemen, I am looking forward to bringing you this one. And ENCE, let me quickly give you a roster rundown. Because we've got ourselves Hades, who has impressed in a multitude of different facets. Diha as well, popping onto the Polish scene and now in the international pastures looking for glory, pursuing that major spot. It would be huge for ENCE to have completely removed from the Finnish roster and come back hitting as hard as they are. Snappy wasn't surprised. He was given some freedom, as was the entire ENCE management, a part of this, juggling nades across, so the B site will have an extra HE for Spinks to throw on out. And let's get into this one, because we have got a 4-1 split of their resources.
niko does have a smoke here as well,
right? Julies are out. Rare to see the glass cannon, Julies.
Yeah, someone should have dropped in those. But I want to point out niko's smoke here, because he's looking for info, and he's going to drop this out, which is going to draw at least 3 of their attention towards the ramp. It's more of a lurk smoke.
Oh, what a counter flash, yeah. Gobbles that one up, and now the nade could be brilliant. Good chip damage. They will need some bodies, though, and Snappy does nothing with the Julies, and down goes Spinks. Oh, big tap. Hades tested. Multiple players. He does take 2 for the trouble. Would love that. Could have cost him his life. Doesn't overextend. Does opt for the reload. Tucked back into sight. Nexa and Jax. Hands out haircuts. Dia trimmed. Now Doto. The impactful Finn.
Good in the clutches.
Representing Finland and ENCE. And Nexa is the one to convert. Ready. Greets him with a bullet. G2 take the pistol.
Beautiful stuff there. And also with niko getting flatlined on that A site. So things looking good for ENCE out the gates here, but converted by G2. And maybe, just maybe if those Julies had landed a different round altogether, Snappy only really needed 1 here. But as they jump out the window, Nexa rips him out of the server there. So beautiful shooting.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, Hades just gave him a chance, didn't he? Great shooting from him, and we'll get back underway. The desk have perfectly outlined all that is at stake, so we'll just focus on what's in front of us.
Double scouts here. Snappy into 1 and Hades the other. Makes sense for Hades. Snappy going to be a bit more mobile with this, able to fill the gaps. He's paired up with Spinks over towards B right now. Diha, Dodo, and Hades today, yes?
Jack's just getting 3 straight out of the gate as well, and that is a very good sign for G2, because I will highlight that he has been a 3rd component of their superstar duo of Hunter and niko.
Even Nexa getting 2. Remember that 1v3 clutch he won just the other day that we had?
Against Mouse.
Yeah, and we also saw Jax with that massive Deagle round as well. Everybody had pop-off moments for G2 the other day, but one of the things that the desk did outline here is to continue to see good form for G2. And Counter-Strike, I don't know if it's talked about enough, but I think timing your peaks is important here, with the Major being the most important tournament. Getting that Legend status is key, and then if they can shrug off EPO and Blast in recent times and have a good Major, then we'll forget about the bad performances.
Yeah. Spoke to Olof and Dupree about that when talking about the Major, and their both key takeaway was that you have to be hitting your peak at the right time. And for G2, you know, Parla was talking to
that.
Yeah, I mean, it may be less of something to aim for as something they've observed.
Sure.
Caught out. niko, long range body shots whittle away at Diha, leaving Doto with a dig and a dream. Great shot into the head of Nexa. He is going to surely be wallbanged down. Hunter to finish the job with the HE, and that second scout from Snappy is ready to be deployed as the smoke does fade. Now, it's not going to be a triple plant. He won't be able to deny, but he might be able to post a headshot, and Jack's down and out.
I think this is the triple S here for Snappy. Snappy, Scout, I'll let you guess the 3rd. Save.
Thought you were being mean.
No.
I know.
Never.
I know.
I'm only mean in private.
It's a private thing.
Yeah. Well, there's a Mac 10. He's just had a look at it. He's gone, do I want that?
I mean, after hitting that headshot on Jax, he's like, nah.
Okay.
Far too good with this gun.
It is good to see Snappy having a good performance here. We heard from him the other day saying he doesn't like Miragi.
They just consistently have good performances on it.
Yeah, man after my own heart in terms of not enjoying the map. But yeah, look, if the team plays well and functions well, why the bloody hell not? That's the 2-0, and G2 should be looking to convert here They're third with ease. You like the timing of this, right? So dHyDe drops that smoke towards connector. And at that point, niko strafes out of Palace here to deny that fallback. So really good stuff. Easy as you like. And it will just be 1 HE, 2 Deagles, a Scout, and 2 USP. So it doesn't sound like the start of a good joke. But you've seen G2 lose to crazier circumstances before.
They've lost to no players before.
They've done some wonderful things before, G2. The walking meme.
Yeah, the tier 1 team. Wow, we can start a new CS poem.
Oof.
Yeah, they have got
They've been through some stuff.
Some history. But you know, we were talking about the fact that ENCE went international so successfully. What a better example of a team that's done that prior than G2.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, formerly the French.
Yeah, it's been a slow process, hasn't it? They've kind of changed out a couple of members at a time here to get to this point.
Probably an under-discussed or appreciated roster move as well for the ages is going to be Nexa and Hunter. You know,
sure.
Sniping them just as they were starting to gain international notoriety.
Yeah, it'd been that crazy project, right? We haven't seen a lot since.
Yeah, like that was like Valiant.
Esperanto and stuff still since.
Well, let's see. Snappy down to 40, and that's perfect strike into niko's dome. Repositioning, the mobility of the scout profiting. But Jax is here to clean up, and they've surely going to check Doto's position. He does have the chance to be disruptive.
You can even spam him, but they've overlooked him here.
Yeah.
Jax might go down, you know.
I wonder if he'll be overlooked for the entirety of this, because it could lead to a little bit of a big one.
Time is a big issue. The bomb is still in T-spawn. If he just denies the plant and the bomb's going down with 5 seconds, they're going to lose the round.
Oh my god.
He just has to wait and deny the plant. The bomb's coming in now.
Okay, clean him up. 10 seconds. There's nothing they can do to voice concerns.
Well, that's really fortunate. That
just
was
after we talked about it. Just after we talked about it, Chad, I thought it was about to happen.
I didn't think that was real. Imagine if it was 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
If it was 5 seconds later on that, we could have called that an ENCE round. A daylight robbery or a midnight robbery with the way things are headed right now.
Okay, now it's time for the weapon rounds, and I'm ready to see, wow, a very early double orb. Now, I think Snappy, half of this might be inspired by his scopy gameplay on this scout, but I don't know whether this is actually intention they've had coming into this game. They've known they're coming up against G2 for a couple of days. And so maybe this is all part of the game plan. He's whipping out the second orb, and that will stop them from being fakey boys as often or as easy. Careful, dHyDe. He chips away at Jax. Gives him a wound to operate with, and aggressive AWPing to get that info early, and well, Hunter and Jax partner up to take that space. So this could end with an early first blood if they're not diligent with their util. Sometimes you see a bit of a flash into the apartments before you cross.
Oh, he hasn't seen anything just yet. How long is he going to stick around? Something's spotted now, and the orb's even been noted. So the warning shot gives a lot of information over to Nexa to operate with now. But we know that G2 like to poke and prod all across the map when they have the Miragi in play. And well, the bomb being left up towards the TV room of the B apartments could be telling of the finish here. They've still got a couple of smokes, couple of flashes, Molotovs to work with as well. Hades up close and personal towards A ramp. If it is a B hit, that rotation is going to take some time.
Coming in. Reaction is just in time, at least the incendiary extinguished and hunted. I think he's been spotted out, but that's Snappy striking for one ahead of the util. Oh, didn't pull the trigger in time. Spinks with a lovely lineup. And so suddenly Hunter's only got himself to count upon. Bomb will be scooped up. He can use that smoke before it fades to get that bomb down uncontested. The rotate is on its way. Hunter. He's pulled off some miraculous things for his squad before and slinking straight towards it. The whole squad is here. And already the first head found. Oh. Hades holds his nerve and his line. And ENCE will put the first on the board. The double AWPs pay off.
Beautiful stuff there. Let's see if they want to retain that. Dodo has just picked that one up as well. So seems to be part of the game plan here to run these double AWPs time and time again. At least when it's financially doable. But there, the diffusers come on in, and this is where the plant really helps out G2. They should be able to get another buy going. But remember those scout kills from Snappy in the earlier rounds? They have ramifications, and those ramifications are being felt by some of these members. Right? There's not enough cash on niko right now. Next is a little bit low as well. Hunter with 6K, you're going to get 6.7 for Jax, so he could even drop an AK if he'd like right here. So this one should still be a buy, but with everything that's on the line right now for both teams, right, for G2 being able to lock in legend status with a win right here, that means an awful lot. And the same thing for ENCE being able to qualify for the major. So let's have a big shout out to a couple of people right now. First of all, Ocelot. Second of all, Natu. And third, Carrigan. Because your crazy recipe for success is not that far away. G2 just have to win here today. And FaZe are in the major.
FaZe are in the major. And I mean, it has been a stressful week for a lot of players. I think FaZe are at the top of that list.
Yeah, this is not going to be an easy night of Counter-Strike to watch here. And that's even without talking about the delays.
Yeah, disruptive molly pays off. Hades will have a gap to operate with. Oh, in the blind spot. Hunter taking liberties. Taking liberties. Spotted. And Diha dunks. That's what you wanted. An early first blood drawn for ENCE.
Again.
This will break G2 if they can't find the fourth now. Coming in hot. Yeah, a missed shot from Spinks. That could get sketchy, but still, Amanek unable to piece it together. And look at him lining them up. The AWP again, an issue for G2's B play. He'll play another smoke to play around, and so he's still going to be a stubborn presence. There's 2 AWP spotted. Hades has now been caught. niko whipping that one out and effective with it. This could spiral out of control. You've got to be careful. Hold on to this advantage. Nexa clearing the kitchen. Gets himself the double. Now then, there's still a lot of time to play with. And Spinks last seen short. Oh, and that's info. A lot of info. niko rocking the AWP. Oh, the slight gap, and they've actually partnered up.
He won't expect to.
Left, yeah, and Spinks finishes what he started. That's a lot from the Israeli. We wanted to see that early. And you can see the ramifications. There it is. Bam. Absolutely humbled down to 2K. 3.3 on Nexa on the high end. And Spinks, despite the miss, he ends up leaving with the triple kill and the round.
That was good from Nexa with this push here. Right, he has the bomb on his back, but has to take a risk because the numbers aren't in their favor. But it's not enough to get them across here. So, yeah, the save that you mentioned is immediately coming on through. 2 deagles, 1 for niko, 1 for Nexa. The rest are going to be onto the Glocks right here, and let's see if they can hit some bangers. We're looking for the 1 digs, the juicy, juicy 1 digs.
Ooh, I thought he got that. That's Diha that's cleaning up. Oh, triple out of him. $900 injected into his bank account.
Well, Hunter's doing what Hunter does and comes through the underpass, but that is Diha's 4th. So now just 1 more for the Polish man. Or the Pole.
Well, he's in pole position at the moment for the 5th frag.
It's crazy, right? Because remember Snatchy as well? Snatchy is the one who came out of AGO first, and I thought maybe he'll be the next big thing out of Poland. But the fact that it's Diha and Hades who are, that's crazy. That's crazy. And with Poland, once upon a time, being such a strong Counter-Strike nation, for these guys to potentially be the only Polish representation of the major through an international team.
Realistically, that was probably going to be how it would go down. You know, we saw a couple of full Polish rosters attempting, but also struggling to find organizational support.
Sure.
So jumping to the international roster has given them that quick kind of fast-track ticket to Tier 1. Diha's talents, we saw him really cutting his teeth.
Oh.
And Hades, speak of his name, he arrives in the feed. Nexa just caught sleeping. Wanted to throw out some util, was not anticipating a aggressive maneuver, and it's led to an early advantage that ENCE can surely build upon. You can see they're actively contesting for ramp info.
This is such a good map pool for ENCE, it feels like, right? Getting the fact that we do like watching them on Mirage when we get over to Nuke as the next map. One of the things that we talk about with ENCE is just how fast they can be on those top hits and how overwhelming they can be. So I'd be curious to see if that continues to be part of the game plan.
I've been really enjoying watching ENCE. Every ENCE game we've casted, like, I think it took me maybe 2 before I stopped treating them as underdogs.
Sure.
They've just very quickly risen in my own personal expectations. And I'm sure the community probably echo a similar sentiment because they are good. And these individuals shining bright up against the best. An early pick from Hades, and now again, they really are stubborn about this B site. Spinks managing his angles well, eliminates another. It's up to the Kovac cousins. Jax in tow, provides a headshot. Util super light, so now or never. Rotates on its way. Doto once again going to be arriving up short for this 2-man short defense that seems to be working. Wonders, Spinks this time found. niko anticipating another, he's right to do so. Decision making, he does evade, nice movement to confirm there was no info there, and he's got himself into the site.
Oh, that was the kill.
That was the kill. 10 HP left on Hades, so niko would have to find that hard clear on Doto. He's not going to do it. Has no idea. No idea. Doto delivers. And that's ENCE not only taking the lead, but taking 4 consecutive rounds. This is a promising start.
And right now, you're going to be scratching your head over there on the G2 side of things. If the game plan is to punish the B bomb site, and maybe Snappy's included in that conversation right there, it doesn't seem to be working. You're able to get out of the apartments, but you got to get that bomb down, and ENCE are making it so the trades are favoring them there, especially with the opener. The aggressive mid-opener, and then they just go sit back in the 4-on-5, allow you to come to them. Sure, you get a couple of kills here, but this was the kill. If Hades goes down there, Jax has done what should have been enough.
Not only he opens it, he gets the determining kill. Big round from Hades. Armor. Some Tech 9s for good measure. A Deagle in play on Jax and niko. Both of them have had very historical Counter-Strike moments with that $700 pistol, and it does look like niko's already knocked the head off on A.
Well, that underpass push becomes a lot more threatening now. Spinx has been able to dissuade that, but there's still pressure coming. Mollied back, Diha standing tall, 10 kills for him now, and Amanex being able to weasel his way into the window.
Yeah, that's something, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's considered right now, but Diha is going to pivot back, I'm sure.
Hello! Oh, Amanex couldn't quite catch him. That side of the head, back movement can get difficult, very dicey for him. An advantage now just petering out into nothingness.
Well, niko was the one that made this interesting.
Yeah.
Now he's the only one left. That was a bit like a drop pie from Amanex there. Not nice to look at. And Spinx ready as well. So now it's 5, and this is where we do need to see a response out of G2. Amanex could buy into the AWP here if he'd like, but I think 5 rifles might be the go. Double AWP's no longer the game plan over there either.
So when this is happening, from your leadership perspective, you know, when you've been trying to relentlessly hit B and it seems like they've got your number on what your initial game plan stood, do you get stubborn with it? Or is this where you kind of just end up ripping out a new page of the strat book?
I think you want to look for something a little bit different now, because it's been multiple occasions where they've rotated quite quickly and had extra men. You might want to look for an opening pick somewhere, and then you could pivot back towards B. But make sure you have that number advantage before you try to punish that side of the map.
Which, to be fair, we haven't seen them get too much of. Jax, it looks like he's destined to catch a bullet here. It's a very tight line, though, so it's up to Hades and his reaction speed, as well as Jax and the strafe he opts for. We've got 4 present in mid for G2, and that's Spinx's responsibility as it currently stands.
They're reading this well, and they have 2 players ready to deal with B just in case, and they're also locking down middle here. So they're in good positions to contest with this. And not again. The bomb on Nex's back. They head back over towards B while Hades creeps on forward, and he even has an escort.
This is going to be tough to break. Snappy down. Will they expect Hades up close aggressive? Do you get that confident without an AWP overseeing your exit? Jax tagged. Hades does not find any lethality. So now they've got themselves that man advantage. They have to build upon it. Hunter's going to be locking down the rotation here from Connector. And oh, caught out. Jump to evade. Spinx will punish. Suddenly a 4v4, and they are coming B. That was enough. Hunter just showing his face on Connector has forced Hades into an unfavorable defense of the site. But Spinx is kicking
3 on 3, and
up
they're
a
low.
fuss. Will ENCE successfully defend this B site again? It's time to find out.
It's not bad either.
Not at all. Limited health now on G2. Jax gonna have to do more. He's already done so much heavy lifting to put them into a bomb plant scenario. Tag, no frag. Diha kept on notice. Spinx is crawling from short during all of this, and it's a question of time. Jax down, getting scary. Nexa claws it back, and Amanex holds the line, a one-on-one. No time for this. Dota won the retreat. It does look like G2, persistent in pursuit of glory on B, will take some damage, will go down with the bomb. And 0 players left standing at the end of that one. Round 9 concludes. G2, this time successful on B.
Okay, well that's something, right? And they were lucky that Snappy went looking there for the kill. This is Jax just standing and waiting, and in about a minute there, he was given that kill. This got awkward. This is where things started to fall apart, because Spinx actually gets another frag right here as Cat is being taken as well. So that was the second prong of the B hit eliminated, and a real opportunity for ENCE to go for that one. But the score now, only 1 round the difference, and the buy is going to be looking much worse on the G2 side of things. I can already see that Amanex bought on in to a Mac 10. There's a Galil for the likes of Hunter here. There'll be some AKs across as well. So it's not terrible, but it's not beautiful either. Now, even this Mac 10 is going to have struggles. It's been head armor on every single player for ENCE. There's not like there's any kev. There's all the heads are covered here, so they're not going to explode them like the watermelon. But do they want to go for something quick? If we take a look at the spawns, Amanek has the best spawn right now if they wanted to go for a mid or a B rush. And that's where we're going to find out the difference maker.
He may not be able to be threatening, or as threatening, with his Mac 10, but with his
3B lane
presence alone, he might be able to draw some crosshairs away. They boost him up, and Hades goes looking. I think he suspects one coming in thick and fast. Jax is lucky to be alive, and here comes Amanek's pace. He's ahead of the molly. Down and out. Spinks again delivers.
G2 can't go into this. They used all their nades as well.
You keep heading into the B site, but every time, Spinks is just laughing at you.
Yeah, and Hunter here, nothing he can do. They know exactly his lurky boy plays. They pushed out both at the same time. ENCE are playing this very, very well here. This is great. Counter-strike, and D has just looked away. That's unfortunate.
niko has really had a return to his form, fighting fit for the major. And now a question of legend status. Will he come in, skip that scary Swiss stage? ENCE standing between him and that. And lovely passive hold here from ENCE. When you've got such an advantage, just don't want to step a foot out of line, and the timing just as niko started his project towards short. And Next has not got anything done either. 6 already on the defense. ENCE have come to play today, and yet not only having time to prep for G2, but also the map pool, as you outlined, does seem to contribute and really feed into the strengths of this international roster.
Yeah, we've had some good performances from ENCE on Mirage, right? Or at least ones that, in my mind, stand out as competitive matchups. Nuke as well, a bit of a snappy Danish special. So they do have a lot of positives here this evening. And there's a pressure on both teams, right? But I think when the pressure is about equal, that's where the underdog will start to be favored, right? Because they're not expected to win this game. Now, we say underdog. Alex has already spoken about this one. It's not the David versus Goliath. It's more like David versus Steve.
Or it's Goliath versus a Titan.
Ah.
You know, like just a big bloke and versus a big bloke.
All right, that works too.
It wasn't the best analogy.
It's good. No, it's mine. David versus Steve.
You're right.
Who's Steve?
Minecraft Steve.
Okay, well, I would watch that fight.
That would be
David with a slingshot and
Anyone's
Steve
got the
with a
3D
shovel.
animation skills. Minecraft pickaxe versus, what did Goliath have? Probably a club or something?
Well, David had a slingshot, right?
Yeah. But I don't think Goliath had it. It wasn't like an arm wrestle.
He was huge.
Yeah.
Was he a Cyclops?
I don't know. I don't know if like that was the branch of mythology they were going for.
But didn't he get him in the eye with the slingshot?
Yeah. Oh, the eye. I see what you've done there. Yeah, no.
Oh, I don't know. AI?
An eye? Come on now. What was your English teacher's name? Wouldn't be proud.
Mrs. Cole.
She's not happy with that one.
Detect I'm at, everybody. And we're ready. Just a little mic issue.
I get hyper scared every time I see that tech in the chat now.
Me too.
A wound has been caused, a scar has been left.
We've been cut wide open.
Never forget.
Okay, well,
Fiend versus Astralis.
What was the date? Never forget. The 8th of October.
Yeah, that's how the song goes. So G2, that's their second time out there burning through here now. So off the back of the tech, they'll take attack.
It is early, isn't it?
Yeah. But it also it embodies how they're feeling about this D side.
Yeah, it is shaky, right? And I think the fact that they've invested a little means you may as well try and get the most out of it. You go into a scout, it's not the usual weapon for him. It's a deagle so far for Jax. I don't know how much more investment we'll see here, and maybe that's exactly why we are getting the timeout. ENCE on the other side of things have a fantastic looking buy. 3 silenced M4s, an AK-47, the AWP, head armor for everybody, kits on 4, you two looking great. So you can tell just by the inflection in my voice, the contrast of the buys. Well, one's good on the other side. And here we go. There have been a few more lighter investments here. niko to scout top mid. And, well, he's going to get a scope v scope fight, and that is brilliant stuff. Have to be steady to hit that one.
Yeah, just the sheer restraint. Doesn't rush it, doesn't just opt for the tag, and niko's happening again. Doto and Diha, the double Ds, immediately level things out.
6 headshots.
Yeah, just like that. A superb flurry of frags, a chunk taken out of Diha. Doto does not surrender, does not quit.
plant's not bad here, and it gives Nexa a chance in this. It is the Deagle, and he has a smoke as well, so he can pick a choke point, smoke it off, maybe even play behind it. Dha being low, just one bullet, he's dead, and then the battle with Doto is possible. Both of them rotating right now through jungle. And
about it.
Yeah, both going to come through market.
Trade off each other. That's the conversation being had. And Nex has opted for the apartments. Now, I suspect...
He didn't plant for short, though, so I think they're just going to assume it's there once they clear it all out, Alex.
Yeah, it's likely they'll have their full HP player start to activate. Dha going to be the canary in the coal mine, looking to defuse. Fakes it out. It's a safe defuse. He shouldn't be able to get too much done with this. And Doto already knows what's up. Trying to hit the shot. Oh, not far off. And they do line up at the end. But bomb defuse round is going to go the way of ENCE for their 7th. But as you highlighted, there is some silver linings to that dark cloud.
Sure. I just feel like that could have been much better played. I guess he didn't know where the two players were exactly. He didn't even plant for himself. He didn't even leave any questions to be asked or answered right there with the bomb going down. So his priority's a little bit different, I suppose. And
it might have also fed into him that just where they took their fights, like they both took their fights in mid. Perhaps he's got underpass, he's got apps in his mind. I'm not sure. Yeah. 12th round of play. Early smokes exchanged. niko came and knocked into that ramp, thinking better of it.
Starting to get worried for G2 now, because it looks again like they want to go back towards B. I know it's still very early in the round, only 20 seconds have passed here, but when you're having 3 players coming through the underpass now and, well, 2 of them selling what is a little bit of a fake on A, you got 2 options. You're either going to go back towards B after mid presence, or you're going to continue this march up through the underpass with Jax entry fragging. You're going to have a fight in connector against multiple players, Dha and Doto both here, and Spinks even peering off a catwalk.
Perfectly timed, and they stand to take the fight. Jax delivers something, though. Dha caught just as before he fell. The spread confirming more presence, and Spinks strikes. May not expect another. Concerned about A, and understandably so. Nexa onto Doto. And oh my god, Snappy! You can't be going for aggressive moves like that. He's got the bomb now, and G2 needs something. Hades needs to survive. 10 HP. Relentless spray. It's up to niko. He's got to make some moves.
Where the bomb is, mate. You got to get that first, and they have to get past AWPs.
Not going to happen, dude. These double AWPs, they whipped them out on like the first gun round, and it's been an integral component of the boys from ENCE posting a very big CT haul here on first map of this series.
Amanek saving this, isn't he? Oh, I can't believe Snappy's move, right? He takes so much damage in that Molotov, but it's round winning. Yeah, Amanek can't win this.
Yeah, I mean, you said the bomb was spotted, right? So I guess that's just Snappy knowing he's got a round-winning maneuver in him.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, well, this one here is starting to run away from the boys from G2. 8 for ENCE, and they're going to be more than happy with how this one's trending. Take a look at the loss bonus. It is maxed on out. In the final, in the last 8 rounds of play, ENCE have won 7. So it was the pistol round of the conversions is where G2 have done their best work on their map choice. But I think 5 is the bar that they might want to set for themselves here. It was this one kill. You're seeing the molly lick on over and hit Hunter, so they know that there's more coming. He's not even ready for the AWP, and this is the round-winning maneuver. A bit of a Tony Robinson walking over the hot coals is Snappy. And once again, we'll remind you of our fan cams, IEM.GG/fancam. If you're watching at home and you want to join the party, don't be shy.
Run boost, reaction speed test for Hades, and over to you, Chad.
So if you've ever been to Cirque du Soleil, you'll know when they're trying those type of maneuvers, they have a safety net. They have a big old net below them right there, just in case they don't stick the landing. Nexa doesn't have a safety net. He's got nothing at all. He's dead. And right now, it's back towards the B bomb site. Now, we know that there's 2. In all Counter-Strike maps, we have 2. But no one's told G2, who you'd think with the number 2 in the name, they'd be aware of the multiple options. But here we go again. And this time it is Hades with the AWP in the market position and Snappy tucked on in with the silenced M4.
Yeah, these pro players, it may be their job, but they are gamers too. Snappy already deals with the third. Ooh, careful now. They know he's low. On the site. Oh, nearly a collateral.
Wasn't the kill they wanted, though.
But they found him, and now an advantage for G2. How long will this last? The bomb should go down uncontested. They've broken in.
Fragile economy for ENCE here. Look at the money that's left over.
Oh, yeah. A goose egg for Doto. He hasn't got a penny to his name. Oh, that was on him in my book. niko, just shy. And that should be enough of a deterrent. G2 breaking into the B site and at least proving to themselves that it can be successful.
Yeah, if that works, why not? I guess they've just answered my critique right here, so good stuff for them on those trades, but I really think that has to be on amanek, right? That shot on through the smoke, they still knew that Snappy was hanging around, able to deal with him as well, and he's even looking for the hunt right now. Only 6 kills, but that's what impact looks like from amanek. Oh, that's huge. That is huge. He's almost going to get them all.
Oof, they have just really hamstrung ENCE for the strong finish now. Yes, it's been magnificent. 8 of the last 10 rounds of play going their way. That was the floppy run boost out of Nexa. Great recovery, and you talked about amanek. You can see that was the niko frag that filled the feed at the same time. Finished what he started onto Snappy, but the third as well, just taking Doto out of it. They've gone all in, yep. So Spinks has saved AK and invested M4.
He may as well here, because if they lose this, then they were going to be staring down what was likely an 8-7 half anyway. The buy wouldn't have been great, considering it was minned on out as opposed to maxed on out. So this is the most potent it will be for ENCE in this round and the next.
What more could you ask from your squad when you are on a sketchy buy is to take some liberties and to take some aggressive maneuvers. Doto already has full info ramp, and you'll likely be able to take some space on towards T-spawn when context found elsewhere.
I wonder if teams leave that vent unbroken against G2 more than others. But they're looking like they want to snap down on a B split here, and the tag not hitting. Snappy's under pressure. They are coming, but there's a stack on the site.
Where did their health just go? Diha did some damage. Spinks has finished some of the job.
This is slowing down towards the B site here. The bomb marooned over towards vent room, and that push from Doto.
They're baiting in Hades as well. It's all ratty. Doto's already coming in behind them. This is something.
They might need to pivot now and actually head back. If they get this kill, they very well might, and they should. This should be the pull the plug, get on out of there, head towards A.
Will they check Hades? Oh, Jax, that's the flight path. Up on the barrel, confirms and clears the bench properly. And there's a 6th. The full investment of ENCE has landed just short of the mark.
Yeah, this is now having to be the save again for Diha here. So the bomb going down soon, and what was looking like G2 were going to be stuck on maybe 4 or 5 rounds is now looking likely to be 7 here. So great turnaround, and that's Counter-Strike. Anything can happen. Want to point out Nexa with 10 kills, Jax with 10. You've got 9 for amanek and 8 apiece for Hunter and niko. So relatively quiet in terms of, you know, a superstar stepping up just now for G2, but I'm sure we'll see more of that with the multi-frag madness on the CT side. But they're hunting, and they want this scalp. Diha, how long can you keep yourself above water here? The bomb over halfway ticked. Your position more than noted.
They're coming in from 3 different angles of assault. He really is doomed. amanek confirms it. 3 again from amanek, so finding serious impact for G2 in their actual conversions.
Now look at this final round of play here for ENCE. We're talking 1,900 smackaroonies right now to spend. And that doesn't go very far. It's got Doto and Spinks, Deagles and Kevlar, and that almost seems to be the prescription for the entire team. Deagles for 4 or 5, 7 for Hades. He's the only one bucking that trend. They've prioritized HEs here. Plenty of smokes and a couple of flashes, but what was looking great for ENCE is no longer.
International body language for that could have gone better. Hands on the head.
There's a lot of nades mid. That can all be calmed on out. Are G2 going to use the space from hearing those nades? It looks like they want to stick to the game plan, which is actually pretty risky against pistols. Out Palace with the waterfall. Just
takes a spicy headshot or 2 for things to spiral. Well, Doto has been overwhelmed. niko not letting it go. It's Snappy that contributes, and yeah, should have the site now. CT's the next port of call, and Jax is already there to receive them. So good find. Can't manage the spray. 5-7 found. Need this from Nexa, and now all onto Hades. Doesn't even get to play the round. So 8-7, great close of the gap. It looked like ENCE were running away with Mirage, but now we've got a competitive half. We'll take a quick break, and we'll see who's going to keep their head above water. Swapping sides, ENCE to the attack after the break.
I did not expect us to come back this strong after the break, but I did expect the team to be really good because we have a really strong organization behind us who supports us. And when you have that, I think if you're able to handpick the players you kind of want, in the end you can build a team who is also functioning really good. And I think the support we have there from ENCE and basically the core we started with was already really good. So I think the goal was after 2021 to have a team that would be a Tier 1 team in the sense that we are at the Tier 1 events.
Yeah, they done told me to be myself. So when I went and found myself, the ones who told me back then be true to who I am ain't think we was really gonna win. Now they watching us from the sidelines while we trying to victories like we getting high tides. I'm getting my prize. Only thing my eyes is locked in on. Have a milli mine. I want it right now. Don't waste my time. Family in a penthouse with a view sky high. Blood, sweat, and tears bring water to my eyes. Cause the whole gang winning. I done gave my life. Odds low, but we did it, ain't we? And we always moving, never on the same thing. Now our lives are highlight reel. We like the thrill. This life's ideal. The hype is real.
We know it. It's just the way we live. We own it. 'Cause that we love the thrill. We know it. It's just the way we live. We're grown-up kids.
Playoffs are back under action. It is our last of the quarterfinals and potentially our most competitive. ENCE up against G2. niko giving an interview ahead of it, talking about how securing that major spot should release some of the pressure and help them play their gameplay with some more confidence and conviction. It's odd, but that is just how the human brain does work. An 8-7 half, Chad, and if people did miss it, how would you fill them in?
I think things started well for G2, but then ENCE with the double AWPs, they were able to really put a lot of pain down range, and G2 with attempts towards that B-bomb site time and time again were denied until they broke on through, and once that levy broke, that's now why we see a very competitive scoreline here. And as the freeze time ticks on down, let's see, can G2 pick up where they left off? It was 3 out the door into that break. Remember last time we casted niko on Mirage on the CT side, he hit 4 absolute bangers.
Oh, that was a clean pistol. Like squeaky clean, Mr. Clean.
I don't know if we got Ropson connected there. That was the one to kick things off. But Noisy through mid and straight towards A. Amanek challenged and they've got jungle control. We know how difficult this can get.
Baiting in niko. Next, giving everything she's got. Safe from the flash, but bomb down. So retake set up. We've got smoke on niko. Oh no, am I? Yeah, my eyes aren't deceiving me. Boost box. Threatening. Biding their time, looking to strike as a unit. Amanek, the spearhead of this 4-man assault. Are you ready for this to go from 10 players to 2? It's a biff, it's a brawl, and everything going ENCE's way. There's only a single frag to celebrate for G2. Jax will change things briefly, but time too far gone. And it looks really simple when it plays out like that. ENCE were hoping for the, or rather anticipating pushes from every angle, but they handle that 4-man CT gather with relative ease.
Yeah, and really good stuff again. We've highlighted their names once. We'll do it again. Dihar and Spinks both up to 17 kills apiece. So fantastic performances from 2 of the stars on the rifles. all this ENCE roster here, but this is great from them. Now we have traded pistol rounds. Regularly, G2 do love a force buy, so we should be seeing that come on out, and it will be greeted with a scout in the hands of amanek, Deagles for the rest, and a timeout called this time by ENCE. So that's their second. You want to make sure you convert these, right? This isn't your map choice, it's G2's, and if you can push them to the distance, you can steal it away from them. You can see the maps in the top right. I think as we move into Nuke, things are going to be looking very good for ENCE, so it almost feels like we're destined for the third if each team wins their map choices. And then Dust 2, obviously with those updates, we did see how it played on out yesterday with Copenhagen Flames versus Vitality in the server. Looks like Flames had taken advantage more so of the changes than what Vitality did. Theirs was still very standard in approach, so I'm curious to see what more teams have to offer on this map. But this needs to be a tight round if you're G2. You can see this one, you're going to be looking back at just a couple of USPs again, and you guys all know how that goes. So standard mid util, windows smoke, top cat smoke, you're going to get the molly towards connector. All three of those integral when you want mid control on Mirage, and now with a couple of flashes as well, the deep connector smoke greeted by one of his own. niko's done that to dissuade them from pushing on through, and well, B, it was all the hype on that first half. Looks like it's going to be again into Hunter. Doto gets that, but it's about to accelerate.
Yeah, Jax is in a lot of trouble. Nades, smoke of his own design ahead of it for the frag. Does take Doto with him. It's more on the site. niko's legs sticking out, and that's enough for Sphinx to build upon it. ENCE looking clean on the conversions. It is a question of Snappy. Doesn't get both of them, but confirms where Nexa is, and so the hunt is on. His scout not long to be maintained, and nice conversion. A tag into Hades, takes down Diha as well for good measure, but Sphinx ready and waiting. Nexa, the Indomitable, fighting tooth and nail to hold on to what he has, but he's down, he's out. Nice shot in the chat from Diha. He appreciates Nexa's Deagle work.
It is good to see Nexa hitting some shots, right? We had question marks about him earlier on. He wasn't really necessarily pulling his weight. We know he has to do the in-game leadership role, but he was on the tip of our tongues as one of the fragging in-game leaders a couple of years ago. Things haven't been going great for G2, at least out of the break. But it's good to see him having at least a couple of nice shots here today. Again, we're back into a couple of Mac 10s. USPs 3, Deagle 1, P251, and that's a big Bowie knife there from Jax. Shouldn't be much to say in this one, especially considering they've gamble stacked the wrong bomb site, and that couldn't be more evident by the radar. Have a little bit of a look at the top left-hand side of your screen. All 5 blue dots over towards that B, and well, hands there heading the other direction right now. Doto, he'll be the first point of contact if they do decide to push on through mid, and you can see him just throwing utility towards B to try and sell a little bit of a fake as his teammates work in towards A. But now I think the jig is up. They're well aware that it is not going to be success for G2 right now, and Snappy has actually pushed on up to close the door here, so he wants to farm with this Mac 10.
Yeah, he's going to really be let off the leash for this. Just farming for that macroeconomics. The big picture here.
Do it, Snappy. You want to. You know you want to.
Well, 600.
We're going to do our 6 times tables today, guys.
I really struggle with the times tables, bro.
I had mine on the back of the toilet door as a kid, so you kind of got forced into it. Diha going to try his luck. And back turned, he goes down. They do scavenge across a Mac 10, but that's nothing that you want to really be using in the next round of play. G2 are going to be purchasing on here anyway. So they're getting the AWP out immediately for amanek, the rifles in for the rest of them. And if you want to keep track, if at home you may be interested in what your favorite player uses in terms of M4, Nexa actually has himself the M4A4. The rest of them all have the silenced M4. So just in case you're wondering, maybe you got a query. And this is where we see the quick stuff out of ENCE. It's fast on middle right now. They're not slowing down. This is looking very quick from Hades. He's up quick smart. This is so much pressure already. I cannot believe how quick they have mid control. They can actually just stay in these positions. There's nobody looking to deal with mid whatsoever. It's a 3-man passive A stance out of G2, and same over towards B. They're just trying to lock down that extremity. ENCE quite literally have the map to work with, right? You can take this full mid control, you can get up in window, you can go jungle, connector, vent room, short. They have so much space right now, and I think niko's realized they need something. They need some information. Nexa pushes a ramp, niko pushes the apartment's position, and sector called clear, but right now it's misinformation because ENCE haven't made up their mind.
Yeah, Amanek took a glance, but obviously with the smoke up connector, they are going to be unable to find much information initially. Window, of course, has been open for business. There's potentially a lurky boy established there. Here they come. Into the site and into the crosshairs of Hunter. Bomb spotted. The rotate's on its way, and Spinks is such a sharp gamer. He's found his 20th frag for the boys of ENCE.
Needs another kill here, Amanek. One is not enough. The rotation's covered by Diha.
Oh, and niko's so loud about this. He's going to be tracked and fragged. Nice catch. That was the bomb carrier. They were trying to pivot. Aware? Oh, not aware enough. Does take one with him. Diha up against Nexa in the clutch. Now, the bomb was short side, so he has to plant B.
Oh, so Nexa's in a perfect position to deal with this now.
Yeah, it's just the denial. I mean, unless Diha's brave enough to fake, he hasn't got time. No time. Nexa needs to live.
Oh.
You nicely.
Okay, don't die, Nexa. Hold on to that rifle if you can. Here we go. First round now for G2 as they look to start mounting a bit of a CT side comeback to draw things up level. Scoreline 11-8 in favor of ENCE here. And I would say it's been anything but easy. This has been the tussle.
I mean, niko did a lot for them there.
The second kill was huge.
Yeah.
The second kill was sublime right there because Diha, you knew exactly where he was, right? And niko still put himself in potential danger right there. So a big second frag, a necessary second frag. And the buy for G2, you can see just how bad it looks with 4 players going on down. But an info crawl again.
Much earlier this time. And no pop flash. Spinks again contributes in a large capacity for ENCE. One of the 2 M4s they had equipped now lies on the wrong side of that smoke for retrieval.
Oh,
ENCE
dear.
really are looking in hot pursuit to take this Mirage.
I'll wait till I have an eco next time to start unfolding the master plan here that could all go wrong. G2 still have a chance in this one.
They certainly do.
Jax is pushing.
Yeah,
Jax is really
Jax
pushing.
could really cause a lot of chaos. Clear left, though. He's just going to get shot right in the eardrum. And all these CT aggressive maneuvers have just been met by hot lead.
Yeah, it's just the MP9s here. So you don't want to really save these, but you might be left with no choice. Harold. Bomb. Oh, get your hands on it.
Not enough. Hades just crab walks in. Snips their hopes and dreams to convert here in the 20th.
ENCE didn't really have to do anything. The kills came to them. The kills just came to them. niko offering himself up to Spinks as easy as you like. Jack still in the same top mid. They're desperate for information. They're desperate to claw a kill back. And now that's 12. It was looking like G2 at least had a say in trying to make this half competitive now. But again, ENCE early stages of these maps looking good. A really decent lead. If they can continue to push this, right, G2 only going to get 2,400 loss into the next round. All they need to do is convert the next for 13 before the guns come out again. Then they need 3 more rounds of play. Just keep it cool, keep it calm, keep it collected. This is great from ENCE. Now, you remember the conditions that we had in place for FaZe to make it through. One of ENCE, Fiend, Copenhagen Flames, and who am I forgetting? And the Movistar Riders. Thank you very much. One of those teams had to finish in 8th position. If all 4 of those teams lost their quarterfinal games, that means one of them was guaranteed to finish in 8th. But we've been talking about G2 making a mess of the bed, to put it politely, in certain tournaments. So imagine this for a second, if you will, everybody. Imagine if G2 lose here to ENCE, then they go into that bracket for the decider from the 5th to 8th position. They lose their opening game in that, and then they're in the last game, and they end up losing there as well.
Oh, double smoke. Nice catch from the ops team. So Snappy throws out 2, 1 for the connector and 1 for the jungle. niko trying to be the hero, but he's been spotted. How is he supposed to deal with that? DH cuts him down to size. And this light buy not going anywhere. But Chad, you're onto something there, and so is Nexa. What are those headshots too? Provided Doto with the damage control, and yeah, long range not happening on that MP9. Quick reposition, maybe he can catch them off guard, and Diaz having none of it. Short-lived hope for G2, but I see the picture you're painting, Chad, and Carrigan's going to become G2's best friend. No, other way around. If they can just turn it around.
Worst enemy?
Worst enemy. Yeah.
Worst enemy?
Oh, I'm getting a bit...
Yeah, it is a bit.
I'm a bit...
Today's been a long one.
I just feel flashbanged IRL.
Flashbanged IRL.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm doing the flashbang dance, but it's not like a happy dance.
No, it's not like when Jordan does it. You know he's having a great time. Look, we need something right now, and we need something out of Hunter and niko. They're the two lowest on the scoreboard for G2, but they're the two superstars of the team. So if they can get activated and start finding some multi-kills, G2 could get back into this game. But ENCE now, they throw out some smokes. They set their sights towards A. Doto throwing up more from mid, and it will be the A finish right here. There's three of them ready. Two on the stairs, caught in no man's land. Next is dead.
Oh, and niko caught out as well. Some serious damage inflicted. Look at the health of Snappy and Spinks. He's aware there could be the late prong mid. Bomb to be planted. He's so low though, so vulnerable to a nade or two. Amanek doesn't count on Doto, and he's gone too. The nade on the nose. That's something for Hunter to work with. Chad.
Yeah, but it's a save.
It is the four-letter word.
Yeah, you'd love a kit, you'd love another kill, you'd love something from G2 here, but this has gotten away from them. It's not it's getting away from them, it's the tennis ball rolling down the street. And Doto, oh, he's going to be the car that's about to run over it and ruin everybody's fun. He's cut them off, they have to start the market, and they don't. Jax with an important kill. That alleviates a lot of pressure. Hades and Snappy not looking for the hunt. It was just a one-man task with taking away these rifles, and that loss bonus 3,400 means with the saved guns, at least we will have another competitive round out of G2 here, but it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. They almost blocked each other on the top stairs there, so just looking for some info, and it was all at the wrong timing, so ENCE are really doing it, and I can't believe it. They are really owning G2 right now. This is a 14-8 scoreline.
To put it bluntly.
Now, another timeout taken here, and that is going to be the third right now from G2. They used two early within the half, that first half round, and now they have one more. Now, the guns are on the floor. Weapons have been dropped. Amanek into a scout. It's going to be rifles for everybody here. At least they've got this in their hands, but where are they going to change it up? Are we going to see them go for more aggressive maneuvers on this CT side? Are they going to opt to play things maybe a little bit different here? Because ENCE are dictating the pace. We only have one round for G2 to boast on this CT side. The other 6 have all gone to ENCE, and lining up some nades again. Top mid, smoked off, nade through. It is a little bit shallow. They know that there's a scout right now, and also that was met with 2 M4s as well. So at least 3 players with bigger guns in their hands. And with the max loss bonus, you can probably piece this one together. ENCE has a pack. They're rolling out 4. Take top mid, and Spinks is going to deal with the extremity as they just push on up as a pack here. G2 aren't fighting. They're playing so passive. They almost look scared.
The old cliche of playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. Very hard shot for him to hit there, and a smoke for good measure, so they get across safely. They're coming into Hunter and Jax's domain. Already feeling the pain. Defensive util dropped. ENCE got so much time to work with here, and already losing a man. Jax, however, traded, and it's all on to Jax now. He's lost his teammate. Hunter's gone. Diha likely to spray this. He knows where you are. You can't have gone far, and there it is. A dink exchange, but Diha's gun is better. Options so limited now. Nex is concerned about a flank. The bomb spotted. Was on the back of Diha. Oh, and he peeks on the flash. The team utility is brilliant. That's the reaction out of Nexa, and if they could just survive, they can play into the site together. Amanek's going around the world. It's the right call. But that is exactly what Hades was waiting for. Nexa gone. Amanek now going to be a little bit predictable. Does distance himself from the drop-off so as to avoid the info. Hades is still looking the wrong way. That decision could have ramifications. He's sneaking in. Oh, Amanek, can you give G2 a lifeline? The first shot hits. Up against Snappy. Okay, careful now. Upgrades to the AWP. He does have to speed this up, and Snappy can just dance with him. Hiding in plain sight. Amanek's just shy of the mark. And that one opportunity for recovery. Just shy. It will be 15. This could be that 16-8 finish on G2's pick, no less. And for legend status, ENCE looking to book a ticket to the major by taking their opponent's map pick.
This is really good stuff right now from ENCE. They're playing a good game of Counter-Strike here, and imagine that mustache on the face of Diha there coming through the smoke. It might haunt Jax tonight as he tries to close his eyes. But just to give you a little bit of a look in of the last 3 months and Nuke for this G2 roster before we get there. Their last game was against Copenhagen Flames here within the group stage. They lost it, and they're desperate, they're aggressive, they're pushing. Spinks dancing between the poles, gets 1.5. And Dodo mops it up.
Got to add Spinks to the land buff.
He's been looking good, hasn't he?
I think he's really loving the environment he's playing within.
This is rough now. Like, I wouldn't want to be playing a Snappy on Nuke.
Yeah, no, not at all. I'm actually, like, it's panic stations now. Like, Nuke was, if anything, like a 60-40 to ENCE in my book, and you're looking at this, Mirage now. G2 haven't even necessarily come all guns are blazing.
No, when they're two superstars, both only have 12 kills, right? And top of the scoreboard is Nexa and Jax.
It's that same AX from the Snappy double smoke we saw before. Might be someone else to dispatch it now. Snappy with the bomb. No, he is going to be setting himself up for it. So, jungle smoked. Connector smoked. Nexa and Hunter, however, will still have full vision. Maybe not with that flash. That's got Nexa's name all over it. Still has vision now. Information gathered. Doesn't quite get the smoke out, and this is his chance to strike. Nexa delivers only one. May seem a little short of what was desired, trying to deny that plant, and his shots really aren't far off. Jax has got the right idea, doesn't quite get it across the line. ENCE 2 clicks of the mouse away. Taking G2's map pick away and being just within reaching distance, touching distance of that Stockholm major. Hades doesn't hesitate to find another. And down they go. What a domination from ENCE. They're close, and even closer now with Mirage under their belt to book in a ticket to that major. Hard work starting to pay off, and the Titans fumble.
Ah, nice try.
Let's go, boys, allez là. Nice, boys. Hey! I'm blind.
Downside. One more.
That's bomb. I'm bench.
Happy jungle.
One more bomb here.
Bomb. By the way, and nose. Exit. Picking. Nice.
Nice try.
Nice, Lotan. Sick round, man.
Let's go, guys. Let's be awesome on the one.
Nice, Pavel. Nice. Nice.
Of course, ace, man. Of course, you eco cobra.
Nice. Good job again.
Let's go, boys. Let's be focused.
Nice try.
All good, nice.
Nice, he died. Let's go, guys. Not the best money.
Also under.
Oh,
Good job. Nice body block. Nice body block.
Good job.
Nice eco, guys. Saving or what? Yeah.
Saving.
Try to kill him, maybe.
Nice try.
Let's go, boys.
Nice, sick, guys. Let's go. That's headshot. Nice. Good job. Let's go, boys.
Nice.
Let's go.
So much better than them.
Yeah.
Nice, guys. Oh my god.
Sick.
Really away.
Nice entry.
Nice, sick. Let's go, let's fight, guys.
Nice, nice, please.
Reverse pop.
Nice. Good job. Nice, guys.
Just keep playing our match.
Good call, good round.
Thank you.
Nice, Marco. Let's go, guys.
Nice indeed for the ENCE fans around the world, not necessarily for the G2 fans or the FaZe Clan fans who are sitting over there sweating a little bit. There's a quiver in their brow. It's everything that they didn't want it to be in this situation. With ENCE picking up the first map of this series, that does set us up for a turbulent rest of it. I welcome you all back to the IEM Fall EU RMR. I've got Yanko and Adam Hawthorne, or as he's more formally known, Hawka. Right out of the gate here, when we look at G2, they fell flat on the T side. Yanko, what happened?
Yeah, they won pistol. It was a good start, but after that, they couldn't really do anything in the gun rounds. And I think it was, you know, obvious they kept returning to that B bomb side. I don't necessarily have an issue with that, right? I have an issue with how they were doing it. Like, you get stopped on B, you maybe want to repeat the call because you feel like the CTs are thinking, okay, we stop them on B, they're not going to come back here next round, right? So you do that, and when that doesn't work, I mean, you just keep repeating that, but just do it, you know, throw an A fake in there, right? Like, fake mid, make it look like you're just faking mid, want to hit A, and then go B, because you could see a couple of times, ENCE was just reading that bluff. They just started 3B a couple of times, and I'm sure if G2 doesn't come in the first 20, 30, 40 seconds, you know, they would return into a more of a default setup, but G2 just kept trying to hit it pretty fast, and they were always playing against the numbers there.
Yeah, and G2, I think you pointed out the fact that they might drop off, trying to keep that level out of the groups of every single player. It's very difficult to get that level out of them, and I think it massively dropped off here. You know, niko and Hunter were nowhere near what they were doing in the group stages, and we've seen them just lose a lot of battles in towards mid, and all of these early fights are going ENCE's way, and ENCE were very calm. You know, you listen to the team comms there. Every single piece of information was going through. No one was screaming. No one was clogging up the comms. ENCE seem fully capable of taking this win now from what I've seen. Every positive sign looks good for them. Individuals are looking good. That double op setup, I think G2 really struggled to find an answer against the double op. I think Spinks was playing really well, picking up the AWP alongside Hades. They don't have an AWPer to combat that. So
Diha, he's also playing well, right?
Yeah,
like, you
exactly.
Can't discount him. He's actually going to be one of our Air Force Aim High head-to-head players. But, you know, just in looking over the highlights, what did Diha bring to the table, Yanko?
Yeah, just frags, but I think the approach from ENCE was interesting because they brought the double up in the first gun round, and that was on Snappy. So that must have been, you know, something that they've seen in terms of preparation, that they didn't care about the economy. You know, it's a big investment. If you lose that round, you're definitely back down to pistols, and it can really backfire. But that was their plan coming into this one, and it paid off. They got like 5 rounds in a row before G2 could put one on the board themselves.
Yeah, that second half was just such a wild ride, all things considered. I think it was like, what, 7-1, 8-1, something like that. Just unanswered rounds back to back to back. That's not how G2 goes about winning.
Yeah, and if you go back to, for example, that mousesports game on Mirage that we've seen on the A stream, there was a Nexa 1v3, there was the niko pistol round highlight, Jax Deagle highlight, right? Some of these massive individual rounds, and we didn't see any of that, really. You know, Nexa was in that 1v2 where he just missed the timing by a little bit. Niko in a them in a couple of 2v2s here and there that they couldn't really convert, and that was the difference.
Yeah, you have so many of these players on G2 you usually look to win you these impact moments, to win you these clutches, these unthinkable rounds, these deagle rounds, these clutches that you don't think can happen. And yeah, they just didn't happen. They didn't connect. And Nexa was a player I wanted to see more out of. I wanted to see him perform well. He did. It's just the rest of the team didn't show up alongside him, which is definitely not the win condition for G2.
A little late to the party, Yanko. What do you got for me?
Yeah, I think, though, we did see something that we discussed in the pre-game, right? We were talking about mid-control defaults and what are the reactions that the CTs can go for. And just straight off the bat, in the first gun round, the second half, round 19, we saw that 1-1 push come from the side of G2, Niko pushing apps, Nexa pushing slope. Well, ENCE was running a sort of a heavy mid to B default. There was no one in the vicinity, and that's what ultimately allowed Nexa to be in a position to win the 1v1. So we saw that unfold fairly quickly, but then the following round, reset round, they just immediately, as soon as there was something happening on mid, Niko and Nexa go to try to push ramp all the way. That was a bit weird for me. Niko just dies to the guy holding ramp from up top, and 4v5, they go for a mid fight to try to even out the numbers, and they just throw it away and have to go straight back to pistols.
And we were seeing a lot of those split attempts trying to come in from G2. I think what was working for them in that mousesports game was the fact they were getting that mid control, and they were able to use then the prawns do approach over towards A in Amanek and Niko, whereas they were losing those fights in mid this time around, and you see Amanek and Niko just trying to flounder their way out of the A side, and Amanek was not even getting involved in that T side.
There was some good calling from Snappy as well, right? Yeah. To change the pace. We saw that A pop in a round where he knew that G2 maybe doesn't have all the money, or that they were kind of strangling them with the default already, so just the change of pace catches them a little bit off guard, and they just weren't really on point individually. That's the round where two players are left on 5 and 7 HP. The kills don't really come through, and ENCE just closes out another round. Only one round on the CT side for G2.
Does the pace change when we go to Nuke, is the next map of the series? I mean, are we looking at a situation where G2 lose this series and really break the balls of some other teams around here?
Well, hey, let's put it this way as well. G2 losing here just doesn't put FaZe through today, but for FaZe to not go through, G2 would have to lose this game and 2 more best of 3s. So I'm really thinking like that's not going to happen regardless, obviously. But they need to wake up for this second map, because as Dinko pointed out, ENCE sound like very calm and collected. You could see that the plan is well thought of. Players know what they need to do. They're executing well. And unless G2 steps up, this is going to be a 2-0.
Dinko, we don't have much time, but I want to know if the series ends right now.
I think it could. I think going into Nuke, I think we're seeing so many good individuals. Hedy showing up in the AWP. That double AWP was certainly looking good. I want to see if they do more of that. CT side Nuke, that can certainly be very effective. And for me, ENCE feel like they're in the driver's seat right now. They feel more comfortable. So G2 have got to step up massively. There's a lot that needs to be improved on just heading into one new map.
Yeah, absolutely. ENCE picking up the first map of the series, which was G2's pick, sets us up for Nuke, which is a really spicy one, all things considered. ENCE still here, and they're still playing along. G2 doing a little bit of the same, and we're going to be going to a break so we can continue this match when we return.
Yes, nice shot, my friend.
Cheaters ruining your plays?
I have eyes on the enemy.
Bad servers stopping your shots? What you need is ESEA. Advanced anti-cheat to stop cheaters. And the best servers around, all with 128 tick rate. ESEA, the best way to play CSGO.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
Alright guys, welcome to Hard Hitting Journalism. We've got Schnabi and Doto in the other room. I need 2 questions for each of them, formed by you guys, and I'll help. That puts them on the spot. We want to reveal the hard truth and personal feelings of these guys. You ready?
Yeah.
When you hear the name Snappy, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Okay.
That's a nice start.
You should write it in handwriting this shit.
I can write for you guys. I can do it. How do you want to word it?
The shortest CSGO player in the team ends.
Okay. Alright, now we need one more. It could be a follow-on from that, or it could be anything else. What's he been like as a teammate? So he's very critical of everything. Yeah. Does he criticize you guys as well?
You have 10 FPS more than me.
Okay. Does he ever use those as excuses for like in-game performance or anything?
No.
Well, what if we just lie? Yeah? Okay. You often blame
I like it.
equipment and your teammates for shortcomings in game. Take a look at the 2 questions, make sure you're happy.
I'm happy.
Alright. Yeah. I feel like you're very happy. Alright, now Doto, what can we put him on the spot about?
It's like really straightforward. He always says what he thinks, maybe something about that.
Yeah,
okay. So he's super straightforward.
Yeah.
Being Finnish, you're very straightforward. Are you aware your teammates are scared of you? Then a second question, is there anything else that comes from that, or any other story or moment that you can bring up that we can press him about right now?
Very likes alcohol, the big sale.
Doto, your teammates don't mind you enjoying a drink. However, they would prefer it if you didn't play officials wasted. How do you respond?
Yeah.
Let's do this, guys.
Hello, handsome. What have you learned? Do you have a busy couple of minutes, or? What the bloody hell is going on here?
Oh, that's the correct pronunciation.
That's how I say it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Schnabby, as the shortest teammate and CS player of all time, are you proud of these titles?
I'm proud of it, but I think Lawson got a little bit sad because in the media room he was put in the front because he was actually the shortest.
Ooh. Yeah, when we came in, I was like, Doto, you're taller than I realized, and then Snappy just went, am I? Second question, Snappy. You often blame equipment and your teammates for shortcomings in game. Why are you using those excuses, bro?
What the fuck? Yeah, what is this?
It's a therapy session, I guess.
I don't know, my PC crashed 3 times, what can I do?
Yeah, but it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Okay. Doto, next victim. Being Finnish, you're very straightforward. Are you aware your teammates are afraid of you?
No.
No?
No.
You're not aware?
Maybe.
Doto, your teammates don't mind you enjoying a drink. However, they would prefer it if you didn't play officials wasted. How do you respond?
You can try to stop me.
Take a bow. Take a bow, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the final quarter-final, second map in and ENCE. Well, they've met expectations. Everyone expecting to see these boys cause a bit of chaos, and there's no absence of it, certainly not on Mirage. And now they're heading into ENCE's turf, Chad. One map away from securing a spot at the major. And don't forget, you know, it wasn't long ago this roster was completely rebuilt from the ground up. You just heard from him, Snappy, the in-game leader, a ragtag squad of rising stars. One map away from the PGL major.
All right, well, Doto is the only remnants of that ENCE team, right? And he was brought in towards the tail end of them being finished. So, yeah, you're right. It's completely rebuilt here, and we move on to a bit of a specialty of Snappy's. It's going to be Nuke, a map that the Danes tend to have a bit of success on here. Let's see if they can extend that success against G2, who didn't show up in map number 1. I don't think they really had their heads screwed on right there because they got battered and bruised all across the server. They were quite passive in a lot of their holds. Let's see if they can find some fire in that belly. We can get this one underway. Next is going to find himself with a smoke and a kit. Kevlar for the rest. And here's the Be a bit of a yard play coming on through. Secret smoke is not great, but Spinx's shot is. They tried to aggress lobby straight into him, and they're going to get across Secret for free here, so...
Oh, they are not giving up on that fight, and it does lead to his demise. Spinx tested. Big test. The Kovac cousins partner up and deal damage. Snappy escaping, and he's in hot pursuit. Whoa, that's brave if they go down the ladder. They know it's an insta headshot if you do descend, so it's a long rotate just by existing in the vents alone. Now a man advantage for the G2 squad. Smoke kit, the retake package on Nexa, so he is the VIP. Protect the president on the way into the site. Nexa late from ramp, that's the plan, and that's a headshot. Diha knows where Hunter's coming from as well. Suspects fence is occupied, and he's lost Doto from the ENCE mix. Snappy
a big
around
flank.
the world,
It is a
huge flank. Don't forget the smoke kit. Smoke's just left the hands of Nexa. Where did it go?
Where did it go?
I don't know. Hello? No time for this. So, and ENCE will take the pistol. Snappy steps up when it matters most. And G2, that man advantage, at no point did it feel like that advantage was being utilized or profited from.
Not at all. ENCE still looking like they're in control when they shouldn't be here, and this is how it kicked off. niko able to get one here, fortunately, but you're right, it didn't look competitive. It didn't look competitive at all here. Snappy, as soon as he makes that flank, and Nexa smoked the windows. He didn't smoke the bomb, and it's like, they can't even see the bomb from the windows. Or just smoke the windows.
I did call it a retake package. It wasn't utilized as such. Force buy from G2.
A little bit perplexed here with what we're seeing put up today, but let's really focus on this ENCE storyline. All the hype around these guys right now. I just spent that entire break. HLTV's bloody stats filter, when you search, oh, that's a flood molly. When you search for majors, it doesn't show like the first section of the major, right? So for example, Snappy has played at majors before, but because of the filter, I didn't think he had.
Okay.
So I fooled myself for a good couple of minutes there.
Yeah, but I just, when you said it, neither of us let...
It didn't seem real.
Didn't seem real. So was it Optic?
Yeah, he was there with an Optic roster, and well, okay, here we go. There's some Deagle kills coming on through. These other four definitely haven't played at a major,
okay.
Right? So Doto, Spinx, Diha, and Hades are all really only coming onto our screens within the last 12 months. Maybe Diha could be argued a little bit longer here, but not at this level, not to this consistency.
And not for these stakes. Still potency to this. Jax would have to be quick on his dig. Oh, and he always seems good on it. Delivers one. Hunter contributes, and there is the recovery. G2 not as wobbly as the first. Convert and put themselves right back into fighting contention early. Malik desperately trying to keep his team's mental strong here. I imagine it is getting quieter and quieter. niko, more contributions. You can see the evasive maneuvers. Didn't quite work out for ENCE. Jax good for the frag that was demanded of him. And Hunter tracking Hades' descent. Nice. Okay, G2 on the board, and we do have the Force by Wars.
Oh, well, we know ENCE love a good hard top here, but it's not going to look that way right now. They're turning their attention towards ramp as Diha, they tried to use a one-way there. It's already been denied by the smoke, so can't be poking his head on through. And they do have these flashes, so note how Dodo's lining this up. He will not move his mouse now. He's just using his movement keys to line this one up perfectly, and that's going to be a nice flash into Nexa's face.
He's ahead of it. He's ahead of both of them. A bit of a team flash as well. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. Doesn't get cleaner than that. Admittedly, the loss of Jax, Amanek actually a bit of a team kill, puts him down and forces the rebuy. But other than that, ENCE and their investments are cancelled. And so are the Force by Wars. It was less of a war, more of a skirmish.
Yeah,
Whoa! The Hades space program.
Sorry, I know that they adjusted them in last night's update. We're obviously playing on the pre-patch to that, right? Don't want to risk any potential dramas there, but yeah, we did see these ragdolls get adjusted a little bit, and I think a lot of players were enjoying it more, but that one right there, maybe you need to make sure that doesn't happen, because that just looks silly, doesn't it?
Maybe a little.
Snappy. Okay, well, that was a big deagle shot, I assume, and the Glocks contributed as well.
What is going on today? Hunter's trying to do some housekeeping. We'll stop the retrieval, at least initially. A lot on his plate, though. He's going to have his head on a swivel and turn up his sense to keep track of all the potential engagement. Snappy delivers one on the retreat. That's two from him in a round they had no right to do anything with. And again, G2. This was supposed to just be a walk in the park. You pick the apple, now the bomb's going down.
Oh, this is problems now. Nexa here just on the Mac 10. Sure, it's going to shred.
Oh, God.
But they need to get on in. And, well, they have kits. There's a lot of footsteps. The rifle picked up, and that's the demise of Snappy. A dink onto Nexa. His position noted. Jax needs to get a move on now.
Oh, he's done a lot there, Nexa. Has the Tech 9 to fall upon, and that's good work. G2 recover. And I think, to be fair, firm fist bumps across the ENCE camp there. You got a lot done with a little.
You're going to be very happy with that, right? You're not expected to have anything out of that one. So Snappy with a couple of nice shots. Doto onto the Glock. The bomb going down.
And so, you will get to see our full guns back in play. M4s. It's interesting to see G2, Stubborn, and the M4. We both Nexa and niko are opting for the A4 variety.
Yeah, interesting, right? Considering all the smoke walls that do happen on Nuke, I'm not sure the T's often spam back, so maybe they want to have more bullets put through the smoke as they're crossing. Maybe map dependent, maybe they're not loving the silence M4.
Yeah, personal preferences.
Yeah, there's lots of decisions.
So, D has actually going walkabouts. There's a missing smoke in the wall, so no gaps yet in the defense. Amanek has that on lock and key. Likely going to have one on the fly thrown here from D here to block off any info. niko, will you spray? D is across. Warehouse pressure starting to force the CT hands around for the rotations, and it is all a little bit of deception from ENCE.
Oh, this is brave from niko here. This smoke's going to fade to his left any moment, and oh, he's going to get smoked out of position here. Limps one of his own forward. That's going to give him a buffer to work with and around.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's locked Diha in. He cannot just escape for that fight towards heaven as easily now.
Yeah, a lot resting on niko. There you go. Diha down. Problem solved, at least for now.
It's crazy how the CT utility is being used defensively, right? That, like in that scenario, to buy themselves a new angle, but still setting their sights on the top side. Snappy's in main, and the pressure is coming.
It certainly is. Careful on this site. Jax, pressured, does find another. Trying to be baited in. Swinging out for a good one is Hunter, and pairs up nicely. Just Spinks. Up against 3, and he has had a fantastic time here on land for the ENCE boys. Looking for his first major ticket. Not going to happen in the 1v3, but G2 4. ENCE 1 down to about that 3.5k mark, so expect to see a bit of a deco.
I wanted some better stuff out of Hunter and niko on map number 1, right? The 2-star names, 2-star players, and here we get it out of them in that round. niko's kill integral to set them up with the 5v4 number advantage, and Hunter there, if you're going to play that setup, right, and you're the player who gets to bait your teammate, it's important. Now we got a buy, and it looks like a fast top because...
Yeah, so wall smokes then fast top?
Oh,
that
no,
would be
never mind. I thought the HE, yeah, the HE from Spinks here, I thought maybe they'd follow through on it, but it's going to be a pop after the mollies.
Yeah. If they smoke hard, that would be great. That would be inspired. Jax loses vision. niko's away from the site, and see if the bodies keep dropping, which they might. Jax, flustered, pushed. Tech 9's up close. The Glock, unfortunately, unable to activate, and Snappy's just got so many men to deal with. There's just not enough bullets, not enough time or health. 5 for G2, coming in, looking more alive on their CT start.
I think a timeout's just being called there. You see the gesture made by Saw, the coach, over on ENCE, and, well, it makes sense. When you're down this hole, you want to see if you can activate yourself and discuss your next gun round option here. So Jax has been good towards that top side again. And the buy for ENCE is looking tasty. It's going to be 4 AKs in the AWP for Hades here. But yeah, you just want to make sure your ducks are in a row. Just spend the extra 30 seconds. All right, guys, this is the approach. If this happens, this is where we're going to go. This is what they've shown so far. And it hasn't been an awful lot. Been very standard stuff. So the first for ENCE being burned here. Just the end of round number 6. We set our sights on round number 7 here.
$6,100 invested by Hades, and yet no helmet. Could lead to an unfavorable exchange should he meet those M4s. But they've got everything they desire for round 7. You can see Snappy just starting to see some bubbling frustration. The initial game plans haven't gone as easily and as smoothly as that Mirage game did. You know, you really didn't meet much resistance, so this is the first taste of it in the best of 3.
It's crazy the scoreline, considering the half was 8-7 as well.
True.
So it's really nice stuff there from ENCE.
Amanek, a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, and catches a glimpse. It's up to niko. His hyper-aggressive maneuver. It could finish the job. Diha is safe again, just a bit short. And Snappy's across. A single smoke required and a frag provided. niko has to watch now as ENCE look for their second. And Nexa, does he really want to re-peek on this? They're slipping through. They're slipping through. That's a duel. Takes one with him. Amanek Orb, a leg shot into Hades. Right into the shin. What's the low side defense looking like? So one is down there. It's in the form of Hunter.
He's going to get flanked, isn't he? As soon as he swings open the door.
Both found. Door open. 4 bullets left. It's not enough to finish the job, and Diha and Snappy are still kicking. They could get the bomb down uncontested here. And they will. Amanek last spotted ramp. He's coming in from the other side of the map. It's Jax poking his head, looking for info. Bit of a timing on this if Amanek gets it right. Snappy. Away, that's the clean one. Taps the head of the in-game leader.
Molly has to fight.
Forces Diha forward. Amanek with impact. And a successful retake found. Defuse secured. G2 up to 6.
That's huge from Hunter, right? The fact that he's there already down to the single door and gets 2 kills. I'm already thinking about Snappy coming in for the flank, but they get both caught out. I think with Snappy's position, they didn't expect somebody to already be in that single door. And those 2 kills were the difference maker because this is how it kicked off. Diha with the opener. Nexa only getting 1 over towards ramp here, but this push, look at it. Neither of them ready for that. And then Amanek as well. So on multiple fronts here, the guys from ENCE getting caught with their pants on down.
Yeah, I mean, Hunter's door play, but then you wrap into Amanek, who was initially held. Diha considered it, but I think the timing just a little shy. Quicker
Last
here.
stop.
Yeah, it could very well be. We know ENCE have got that. A team nade onto Diha's nose and a counter in the form of that can of flame flash, but he doesn't care. Look at him, still charging in. So ahead of the pack. They've been met now by resistance. G2 counting on Hunter to hold Hut, and he does provide issues. And a quick one. Doesn't get much quicker than that, chat. The round just ends at 1 minute 27.
You wonder where this was in map number 1, don't you? Just there's a bit more fight to G2. They're not having any dramas getting stuck on in. And another timeout called from Saw here. Ooh, Snappy with the glance on up to the coach. Really now, boss?
Again?
Yeah, well, Snappy, he's obviously one of the seasoned vets here. 31 years young. He's been doing it for a long time. If you don't know Snappy, you don't know Counter-Strike. He's been doing the 1.6s.
The cat ears gang as well.
We do have a Cyclops watching. You see that? See those sunnies? The guy under that only has 1 eye.
Seen they've spiked in popularity.
The Cyclopses?
Whatever, is that what they're called?
Oh, those sunglasses?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They've got a fancy name.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know they were a thing.
Oh, they're a thing with all the cool kids.
Okay. Yeah, you know I'm not on the TikToks.
Oh, I know you're not on the TikToks. That's how I know.
But I am on the interwebs. And it is another partial investment here from ENCE. They've gone Techers to Wreckers, a Mac-10 for Daddy-O Diha, and Doto. He's got a deagle in his hand, so Old Faithful still getting some playtime here as smoke walls are being lined on up. Snappy to mount the silo, and oh, well that didn't last very long, did it? niko puts a bullet between the eyes and demands even more respect. Demolly some bullets. And that smoke wall's not really going to do anything because the hit is back towards top. Now, 2 players have to throw nades on the roof. That means only 2 players can entry frag into the top side, Alex. They need to hit these cleanly.
First Molly has no success, nor the second.
Oh, they're going ramp.
So you've faked one side, you've faked the second, and now you want to hit the third, and it has created a gap.
A big gap. A huge gap.
You know what? Call this timeout successful. The only person that can really ruin the plans is Nexa, but that's a pretty common clear.
Tech9's going to be close as well.
Yeah, he could very well get spotted out. Good catch. Diha delivers the bomb on a silver platter, and it's Hunter and Nexa combined. Make this one a quick one. Well handled from G2 there, and you can see how the master plan did come into action. It did succeed, at least in the initial engagements.
Yeah, that room that was given right there immediately gobbled on up, so good stuff. And yeah, now I'm a bit more impressed by G2. This is really good stuff from them. 8-1. Not getting too frowny over there in the ENCE camp yet. We saw what happened in map number 1. It looked like ENCE were going to run away with things in the first half, and then we ended with an 8-7 half. So, oh, well, maybe ENCE can ask us something similar here. 5 or 6 on the T side won't be too bad at all. But you Just love to get past the big man on campus, and that's niko towards that yard position again. Down the vent, Spinks has dropped, position called. Nexa will have to rotate, get a move on to deal with him. And now, because they have the vent control, Amanex already here as well. This is not going to be easy now for ENCE. The fact that Amanex down and Nex is not far away. But they can't overrun Amanex without a kill. G2 need him to get something here, or ENCE will be in.
Already providing one. The fullback AWPing. It's a little avant-garde, a little unique. Might just choose to ignore him. Nexa was his support. Now he's gone, so it's Ram. Sprayed, but not enough. niko continues to kick up a fuss. He's hitting every shot he takes, Chad. 2 headshots delivered in quick succession. Hades would have loved the plant. Yeah, they're getting certainly a bit fired up now, G2. The individuals are online at the bare minimum.
Well, the map number 1 was a warm-up. I guess we just didn't get the memo over here. So this is a whole different story right now. A whole different story. And I'm going to say it again, guys, but it's another timeout from ENCE. A 3rd timeout called. They're not going to have anything left for the second half. Now, to be fair, they won't have anything to work with in the second half if they don't start getting some rounds now. But 9-1. And this has happened very quickly. You could have fit in an hour and 45-minute fill-in this time.
Yeah. Could have. Won't.
Well, similar scenes. It's going to be another partial investment.
It's been a while since we saw, you know, in the best of 3s, teams disastrously losing their map pick.
Yeah.
That was a trend for a while.
Well, OG's out of the tournament, so that makes sense.
That's also true.
But where are the bomb plants as well? Haven't been a whole lot of those. Only 2 here in the entire first half of play. We've had a little bit of a crash from Hades, guys.
Just as I said, we won't.
No, but no. No, but no, all right?
Nah. No idle zone, but I'm afraid they may be idle for some time.
Yeah, who's going to find them anyway? They're terrorists.
Yeah, you're right. They've already broken down the gate. They've already pulled up their van and they're trying to plant bombs, so...
Do you remember on Old Train, there used to be like a security guard in one of the I think there used to be on Nuke as well. There used to be like a corpse of a security guard in one of the things.
It'd be cool if it was like an NPC.
It's like the law. Or you can talk to him.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. What, you want to play role play?
Yeah, you get your quests.
We are here to rescue you. Get your quest.
What's that new hostage? Insertion 2?
Insertion, yeah. Don't. Be careful now.
What?
I know you didn't enjoy it.
Oh, I wasn't going to smack talk it too bad.
What did you think of it? Do you think the idea of picking your spawns on the CT side and, you know, having more of a bigger map, do you think that has any merit?
It's certainly different, and I can see how that could be appealing.
Yes. Yeah.
Personally wasn't particularly fond, but obviously don't forget, I think I could enjoy it once I knew all of the spawn.
Sure, the timings.
Because I just kept basically thinking I'd pulled something off and then getting shot in the bottom with a silenced M4 and not having no clue where I died from, and they're all in the fog and they're all hiding in rooftops.
The fog is a bit of a
It does feel a bit more Battle Royale. It doesn't feel Counter-Strike-y at all.
I think the fog and the roofs is an issue because you don't know all the angles and you're trying to hold a window and you're getting peppered from a while away.
Yeah. Ooh.
I didn't know this existed.
No. What's happening here? Is this the 1v1s? No, it's somewhere... What?
The 1v1s. When you're in the 1v1s, I often pull out when we're in the GoTV and you can just see where these little boxes are stashed. It's interesting.
Oh, I see where we are.
Yeah.
Okay, my brain really did struggle there.
That's a pallet jack, everybody. Don't know if you've ever used one of those.
Oh, yeah, I had a pallet truck license back in the own-base days.
Oh, you needed a license?
It wasn't a license so much as it was an online quiz.
Okay, was it motorized or was it man-powered?
Well, I wasn't allowed the motorized ones.
I became a master of the motorized ones.
I had to do the manual jack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when I worked at Woolies for a whole year, it was mandatory to know how to wield that beast. I had to unload trucks. I had a lot of responsibility. Fruit and veg, not to be trifled with. Remember to eat your veggies, guys.
Every time you bring up Woolworths, it brings up such a bad memory of mine.
What? Oh, okay.
When I got caught.
You got caught?
Shoplifting, but not...
What? You were shoplifting?
Not shoplifting.
Alexander B. Richardson.
It wasn't shoplifting. It was I've always been a fan of gummy sweets.
Oh, yes.
Now what I'd fallen into the trap of is I'd been getting away with this for a while. My friend Ralph had taught me the ways, right?
Ralph,
he's a bit of a bad influence. He got me quite chubby as well because we'd just save our lunch money and buy Greg's after school.
Oh, Greg's is delicious
so
though.
Gummies and Greg's, not great combo.
The GG.
Yeah, but The idea was you put your gummies into the bag, you print out the label because it was like a scale and label situation.
Oh,
but then you throw in a couple of extras. So you're paying £1 for a £2 mix.
I see.
And I'd been getting away with this for a while. I think one of the shopkeepers got a bit suspicious, a bit tired of our BS. I got really cocky now. I'd thrown in a really, like a heavy gummy snake. I'm talking, you know, my forearm of gum.
I see.
And yeah, she asked me to go back to the scale with her, and I've never been so nervous and sweaty in my life as I'm walking down, putting it back on the scale. I just wanted to run, but you know, I told you I was chubby.
Did you saddle up and pay for it?
I can't remember what I did. I think she asked for my mum's number and just said 8 digits.
I just want to give people just a little bit of a look in at home what's going on. You saw the League Ops team just walk over to Hades and give him the magic box. Well, the magic box is where their phones live. They're not allowed to have their phones on them while they play. But he needs it now because he needs to log back into Steam. So that's why.
Okay. Well, I understand.
Yeah.
But that's surely a good sign.
That is a great sign. That means the PC's back on at least. That's step 1 of 4. The first thing you guys should do, I'll give you my key piece of advice for when you're playing at a LAN event. The first thing that you need to configure with your team, and I don't care if they kick and scream and say, no, I want to do my aimbots. Make them do TeamSpeak. TeamSpeak is the first thing that you should do. Get it sorted, sort it out, make sure that you can hear everybody clearly, make sure everybody can hear all the footsteps.
No crackly mics.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure it's sorted. That is the first thing. That's the one piece of advice I will give you up-and-coming gamers out there if you're ever going to attend a LAN. TeamSpeak first. And most of you are probably asking what TeamSpeak is. Well, it's a better version of Discord.
It's more consistent.
People are up in arms after that. Probably going to accuse me of being a light mode user in a second, and I do.
Yeah, he does. Not even that, he actually only uses social media from his browser and his phone.
I'm addicted to it, so I don't want to have the apps.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. That's fair. That's fair game.
Instagram might be going soon, I think.
Going?
It doesn't do anything for me. I haven't posted on it in ages.
That's fair. Maybe there'll be a new platform that will suck in all your...
Like MySpace or something. You can customize it. Maybe someone should create like this platform where you can customize your profiles. You can pick like your favorite song.
Oh, you could pick your own profile picture and own it almost in a way. Like you could kind of own your profile picture.
Own your profile picture.
Like you could
like digitally. Yeah,
digitally. Okay. Like as in like somewhere somehow it would say you owned that picture.
Okay.
And you'd be able to have it as your profile picture.
Like, could I like screenshot it and have it too?
Definitely, but it wouldn't be the original one.
But you don't.
I'd own the rights to that.
I see.
What do you think?
I think it's a concept that might take off.
I think it's called, actually it's been done before. What's it called? Neopets.
Ah, okay.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a game once upon a time too.
Oh, I'm seeing ready typed 3 times, which is usually an indicator that the Counter-Strike can continue.
1 for you, 1 for me, and 1 for the admin team.
Yeah, yeet. 9 for G2, back to their feet after it looked like it was full panic stations heading into ENCE's pick. We have seen a resurgence of sorts.
I can't wait if we go the 3rd because it is Dust 2. I'll get you excited about it again. We haven't had it played a lot. It's the least played map here at the IEM RMR. And this little partial buy here from ENCE needs to find them something. Now, online, they love these faster plays, and we loved watching it. But this time it's going to be a yard crawl. Dha leading the charge. Snappy calling up a storm here, and oh, that's a great time, Molly. Only one player can make his way through.
Yeah, niko's really been making it difficult for ENCE to have success through these smoke wall maneuvers. Where did niko's health just go? 100-0 from a Molotov. Spinks is in lobby, just can't believe he's contributed from all the way downtown.
Okay, this does become interesting
It does. So Spinks is the lobby lurk. You got low site progress being made. Oh, maybe not. Nexus having issues. Big issues. Takes 1 with him. An M4 in play for Dha.
This is looking good now.
Very good. They've got smokes. They can even throw 1 ramp side. 2 more remain. They could lock them down.
2. They can go back. Vent to top. Vent to top.
They will. Hunter has to react now. Can he catch him this time? It could be everything. Hades found.
Bombs up.
They accelerate up the ladder. Oh, playing with fire here. Gets the info.
Oh, he's mollied himself.
Yeah, he can't go round. They throw 1 for good measure. No, that's his. It's just rebounded down. Oh, Lord. Okay, kit's in play. They're low. Spinks ready. Not quite enough. D had to come up clutch.
I think he can win this, you know?
Definitely not out of the realms of possibility. Amanek has a full belt of util. If he was just throwing in some flashes, but he doesn't want to reveal himself. He doesn't want to make it clear he's coming from heaven, but Dha knows, can't manage the spray. 7 HP and a headshot found. Oh, he's done it! Dha secures ENCE's 2nd. And G2 fall apart at the seams. What was that round? There was so many kooky components.
That was wild. That was absolutely nuts. As soon as they had identified that they could slip back up the vents, that was the right call to make. The path of least resistance. Nexa, he fluffs his lines. He goes down. Hunter mollies himself out of... Oh, that's how Niko went down, going down the vent there. Okay. This is Nexa just fumbling a little bit here. So too many targets for him. Couldn't pick a single one. Hunter almost being able to get in their face. Makes it interesting with the Spinks kill, but Diha... This guy's a beast, right? He is actually an absolute animal of a player. So when I see him in that situation, even with the HP against him, he's something. Like, he really is. So that was...
Did we get in the replay package? The Niko death?
Yeah, so he went down the vent. So what was happening there, and this makes sense, was that Spinks throws the Molotov to stop the rotation down the vent. So there's a chance he spammed him as well, right? So as Niko's going down the vent, stuck in the flames, he's dealing with the secret rotation and he dies. So his death for free really does come back to haunt G2 here. Now there's a bit of residual cash left over for another buy in the next round of play. ENCE will need to win this one and likely the next here if they do want to bankrupt G2. But here he is again, up to his old tricks.
He's committed now. Just gets away despite the spray. Safe haven found. He's given up yard. It's Amanek's responsibility.
It's it again.
Now, and that's the spam.
Same thing as last time.
He's got the timings down. Just spraying through Niko. Lucky to be alive at this point.
Yeah, unconfirmed damage though. So until they see the blood on the vent, then maybe they'll get a bit of an inkling. But still, they just don't know how low he is. Still being a dug on the board here.
Oh, God, and he's actually, with his low HP, actively contesting. Down goes the AWPer. That is a huge contribution from both of them. Hunter as well, catching Doto.
Hard round to win now, isn't it? Diha took so much damage early. Space is great, but the CT side can turtle up, and Amanek jumps into it. Snappy gone too. It's all on Spinks here.
Oh, Jack.
Did you see the head?
I mean, it clearly hasn't reacted to it, but did catch a glimpse. I don't think Jax did either.
Seen him now. That was swift. And now it's Diha, the hero of the last, in a 1-on-5.
Look, the 1v2 was cool.
Yeah, the 1v5 would be cooler.
Yeah, and I mean, he has technically got 9 points of health more than he did in the 1v2.
That's true.
I was just proud I could do the maths, okay?
Well, he's got 15 seconds left.
All right, you know what?
It's going to be a save.
I could just go, and I could spell that for you if I...
Give me an S.
I'll give you an A as well.
Give me a V.
Hey.
Give me an E. What does it spell? 10-2.
And it only took us till 11:30 to lose our mind.
We thought we lost our mind a long time ago. We're just we're very good at hiding it. We're very, very good at hiding it.
Yeah, it's called masking, and everyone does it.
We just do it better than everyone else, I think. But yeah, look.
You damn neurotypicals.
Okay, the guns are back out. We need something from ENCE now. Four is the benchmark we're setting here for a competitive map. Most of these other series have at least, you know, been back and forth. Yesterday was bangers of games. The Flames looking good. The Movistar Riders looking great. Unfortunately, neither converting here. ENCE are up a map, so that's the positive here. They will have Dust 2 to settle the score, but you'd love to get it done on Nuke, wouldn't you?
Wow, takes the fight despite that info on the jig. Snappy's gone. Now they park D here in Warehouse. He could come into play late. He'd maybe have to start a project to clear it out, but it looks like G2 actually are three-man hunting
trying to wallbang him here.
They really want to flush him out.
You're isolated now, my friend.
Get him out of the system. He's gone.
That's a special task force.
Yeah, dispatched. It does almost feel like we are role-playing the Cedarwood Creek retake.
Mr. President, we're dealing with Warehouse.
Target neutralized.
Oh, the little details here. Hades lobbing out the smoke. Now it gets across. It doesn't matter, but you want that normally wider so you have a free passage. The bomb's gone down. The 40 seconds begins. And this is G2 we're talking about here.
Yeah, 5v3 retake. They're up against 2 rifles and a Dig. Spinks, only the one. Will they clear close? A strike from Hades, posts his third. Doto is a little bit of a twist in the tail. Will they consider it? Amanek, he had a cursory glance. He's the last man.
It's not planted for him.
It's not.
But he has the molly, though. He does have the molly, though. If niko starts defusing low on HP... Oh!
Saved by the Hunter Heady. niko with 3 in that round. Definitely stepping it up in pursuit of glory here and to push us to the 3rd.
Felt like a perfect storm almost manifesting there for ENCE, didn't it?
Dust 2, right?
Yeah, Dust 2, Dust 2. What's the opening kills look like so far for ENCE? Maybe that's one of the departments here in which they're lacking. So just a total of 3 opening kills so far. That's not enough. That is not enough at all.
Dude was tuning in from his private jet.
Technology, it's come a long way. niko's had 5 opening kills. That's been great from him. Also 3 multi-kill rounds.
Oh, Hunter, gotta be careful with that one. He actually chooses to stand and fight, and that is his undoing.
They're in top.
Very much so in top.
Retake util here.
Retake protocol, #11.
Well, the one-way dropped out immediately. The flash from Amanek here, and well, this worked pretty good for NIP. Let's see if it works well for G2.
Down they go. Next up, first a foul. Lovely adjustment.
Blicky.
Yeah, and there's more to come. Next up with the triple kill. The molly looks well placed as well. The cat's to be cautious of Hades. A 1 versus 3. Can he deliver? That molly will force the defuse to cancel. Oh, it's just shy. Just shy. Doesn't spread. Nexa does it. All for the squad. And a successful retake out of G2. Hades does get away with the AK. But that was looking great for ENCE's 3rd. Good recovery out of G2.
Now, obviously, they're not winning any rounds, so it's hard to look pumped up, but the atmosphere in the ENCE camp doesn't look admirable. It looks a bit flat right now. People are looking dejected. Now, I know that they're not normally the most excitable bunch of dudes, but they're 1 map up, right? I know they're getting battered right here, but still, they're in a really good spot. 1 more map of play, it becomes a best of 1. Oh, gee, and that's Dihal with an opening onto niko. So silencing him, remember I said he had 5 opening kills up to this point.
Yeah, and he has been going for that gambit more often than not. He has learnt, albeit in the last round of first half here.
Oh, this space has been granted for ENCE or taken by ENCE several times. Main smoked off, down towards secret they go. Nobody resigns for G2 to deal with the lower plant right now. They have enough money, right? They have plenty of cash. Is that right? Does niko have 16k? It's right, yeah. So, well, it's the last round of play. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Lost my mind here. Worrying about a buy in the next round.
Yeah, all good in the hood. Perhaps for G2 as well, despite the man disadvantage. ENCE have got themselves down to the low site and they've cleared out Dark, which has been an issue for them in the past. Hunter as well with his door swings open. Spinks shuts him down. Doto, ooh, has a little tag into his heels. Nexa trying to be everywhere at once.
He's tracked him at least.
Jax's head is visible, doesn't quite get the jewel Hades. And a smoke onto the decon door puts Spinks into a bit of a box.
Cleared.
Hard clear. Nice work from Jax. Looking great, G2. Just enough time for the defuse as well. So that's quite the half, quite the haul. Doesn't really get much better than that. 13. Unlucky for some, but unlikely to be for G2 in hot pursuit of D2.
Team energy is quite fantastic, to be honest. Like, we've always been pretty good friends, like even outside of the server. The boot camps have been fun with this roster, so it's just enjoyable to play, even after losses, to be honest.
That's cool. I mean, so are you playing a big part in that, Marco? Are you helping that team energy?
I don't think so necessarily. I just think that when you meet up on LAN and we've been playing together for so long, obviously we've met in Finland a few times also. But I just think that you kind of see the human being also, and then I guess it's easier to reset sometimes. Obviously, we can still have some tilt happening at times and stuff like that, but the majority of the time we really try to keep a hard focus within the team on like having a good atmosphere, because that's where we feel good and that's where we play our best. So there's no reason to dwell too long in a bad mindset.
After we qualified yesterday, energy in the team was really great. Yesterday game, it was really tough for us, and I felt pressure yesterday, like honestly, not even close last 4 games, like because I knew yesterday and we knew that we needed to win this mousesports if we want to go through, and like we felt pressure a lot, I would say, and it was really great feeling after we finished this game, after we won this last round, after last kill, like I felt really amazing, and we all felt so. Energy in the team is really good, atmosphere in the team is exactly how we wanted to be after this group stage, and we are looking forward to play more and to play these best of 3s.
We are just 18 days away from the global offensive major, first in 2 years, and well, G2 looking for the legend status, ENCE looking to secure themselves a seat at that table. It's an exclusive club, you're going to have to work hard, and G2 have made it clear that they're going to work them hard, despite shortcomings on Mirage. We're ready to rock and roll with what could be a quick second half, could be being the operative word.
I'll take things I didn't expect for $100. Thank you, Alex. As G2 with a 13-2 first half is not how things should have gone after that Mirage collapse. Well, it didn't even start. I don't think it was a collapse.
I'll do it. Nuke is a CT-sided map, chat. G2 known for the occasional fumble, right when the ball looks like it's in their hands.
But how important is the pistol, Alex?
Oh, well, I'm so glad you asked, chat. It's incredibly important for the CT side here. It could be all over. Red Rover, maybe some ravioli involved.
A couple of red beans.
Certainly for good measure. They're going round.
Heaven might be the play here because this was identified early from ENCE that it wasn't a top fake, so they must have had a good idea it was going to be over towards ramp. You can see a heavy rotation from them down to the lower site. That's 3 players. But parhaat, Hades has to hit one clean onto niko here, who's looking poised to push on out.
Interesting. So they park Hunter to arrive late Heaven. This is like a deviation of the Hugo.
A deviation of the Hugo. Everyone's favorite pistol round strats. If you've never played matchmaking with these boys before, every pistol's called the Hugo.
Yeah, but like it. Back to the door. Feels like top side. Looks like top side door. Swinging open. Swings and roundabouts too. In the feed for ENCE. A fantastic start.
They can't go down the vent. They rely a lot on Hunter here. A lot on Hunter. If he jumps up and goes Heaven, he can rumble this top setup. But I still think the pivot, might have to be elsewhere. Doto didn't see that one coming.
Ooh, chances. Hades in a lot of trouble, trying to get himself out, but D is the one to bail him out. He's contributed from that squeaky door position. And now the plant actually likely to go down. There's no way for them to contest this, so a bit of a role reversal. Jax is partnered up with Amanek, and they've got the health to work with. Not anymore. D-Hurt wants this. He knows how much it counts for. Spinks will finish the job. And there's the first. The compulsory pistol. You can tick it off their to-do list.
Got a couple more things to do here. They've left all their busy work until Sunday evening.
The procrastinators.
We know how that feels very well. But Diha looking sharp, and that's great signs as we continue forward here for ENCE. Now, is the foot going to be put on the throat? Or are we going to see a little bit more of a tempered G2 here?
Depends what you're into, Chad.
Yeah, well, personal preference. We don't kink shame around here. AKs. So they're going to keep that aggression up here. They want to try and finish this as soon as they can. When the money is quite leveled on out here, G2 have dropped some AKs. They've got a Galil, they've got a Scout, they've got a Deagle, and that's going up against a Scout, 3 M4s, and an SMG of their own, but barreling deep nades. Ow, niko's already dead.
He did have that 1-3-3-7 score. The death not so elite. And there's Hades extending the lead. My God, this is falling apart fast.
Well, this was meant to be a decent round, right? It was meant to be competitive. They're meant to get a couple of kills. They're getting blanked right now. Next thing, you've been good. Denying the AK. Makes sense. You can tell just with that type of maneuver how desperate this is, and they've already locked him in. T-spawn, silo, CT spawn. Lower. Okay, all right. Spinks was a bit horny to get that one, and he does. 13-4 now, and it should be the eco round out from G2. We're going to see them operating with just some upgraded pistols at best. But that was a nice deep nade, wasn't it? Great way to kick off the round here, and then the dominoes continued to tumble. Good shooting from Hades, starting to get himself activated. Hasn't necessarily been the biggest force so far in this series, but hasn't needed to be, especially on Mirage. But if they can come alive now, even if they don't win this map, it's better signs going into Dust 2. And I think that anybody can win that map just with how few and far between we've seen it played. I'm interested to see more approaches, more theory crafting of Counter-Strike live in the server. His nade, if it was a little bit more to the right, Jax would have swallowed that one up. Warning shots exchanged, Diha chipped on down, but...
Trying to see if he could get that util out of the reactive hands. Nobody's having any of it.
If the door sounded like that, I'm sure somebody would be in there with some WD-40.
Or, and I've heard this, or I've seen it on the TikToks.
On the TikToks?
Old Spice. Little, you know, like the little waxy...
Yeah. Okay, the roll-on.
Yeah. Works wonders on your hinges.
Didn't know that.
And your armpits. Or any other deodorant product of your choice. I like this from Snappy. No grounds for concern. If Spink's got one banged, I'd have started to ramp, and on ramp is Nexa. Usp to the dome. Spink's looking comfortable. Just chilling like he's at home. 12th found for him in the individual fragging department. And yeah, ENCE continue their campaign. This is going to be the first real test. Round 19. Going to be getting the AK-47s out, and interested to know what Nexus cooking up. He's probably going to want a quick finish here on the second as well. Make no mistake, G2 in hot pursuit of that third. They just want to be able to shrug off Mirage, and well, finding 3 more rounds, they'll be able to.
And you're right here. This first gun round can be very telling of just how many more rounds are left of play. Smokes, they're in the air. And turning our attention towards the top site, Doto on the hut, Diha in main. Spinks is behind the silos and the smoke wall being crawled behind. Now we saw Diha battling with niko towards yard. Well, we've got it Shua on the other foot right now. Hades trying his luck with some pot shots, but niko has made his way on down. 68 points of health remain, so that's enough. And Doto, he's also taking a bit of chip damage here. Now with niko down, 1 smoke remaining here for the T side. G2, they have to operate as a pack. Nexa has this hut push. Jax was over towards ramp. Hunter and Amanek are waiting for their marching orders. Now niko, that Molotov is usually indicative of a lower play coming. So by throwing that out, they're hoping to really sell this and force rotations. It is just one man, that's Snappy, down towards B. Hades standing tall, not flashed, and wow, that AWP is going to get a lot done here.
Sure, that was nearly the collat. He's dropped a smoke to play around. It will make the hunt more difficult, but the volley still burns. Hades cooked.
Next with 2.
Yeah, that's exactly what the doctor ordered. Suddenly an advantage, and lots of time for them to hold on to this.
But Snappy is still lower here.
Yeah, D has secret, so he can react. Doto's going to be doing the dirty work. He's got a clear lobby, but admittedly no one's home.
Here they come.
All right, Snappy's been here a while. The headshot angle, he succeeds and top
no idea.
Stop. They finally work it out, but he takes all three. Oh, G2 just absolutely collapse. The silencer, a big component, I think, in the fact he strings together three there. They just didn't know where to look, couldn't work it out.
Yeah, they didn't acknowledge his position there, especially for that second kill. Hades is trying to mask himself with his smoke there. Nexa gets 2 kills. He threw the molly deep ramp and also had the flank cover. But this first one, Nexa wasn't looking, so he doesn't know where he died from. The communication always going to be sketchy in those moments. So the in-game leader stepping up when they need him. And still on the T side, Goose Egg at G2. Now they've gone for Tech 9s and a couple of Deagles here. The Meat Cleaver's needing to find something. That's a hot top molly coming on in, and that's going to throw a vent dive into question. But with Diha in the vent, there's no way down. Mollied out of position, and the top pop looking likely.
Spinks is ready. No one's looking. And it's just as easy as that. Swap into the USP for star points. And a quick third. Keeping it conservative on their investments, but they'd have loved to have seen a bomb plant. Will not get anywhere close to the site. And this fight is being shown to see just baring their teeth a little here, ENCE. First gun round goes their way.
Let's monitor this, right? So in the first 5 rounds of play for G2's T side, they have managed a total of 5, 6, 7 kills. 7 kills in the first 5 rounds of play. Now, we need to see bombs going down or more frags coming through if you want to start thinking that G2 can close this quickly. If not, there's going to be a lot more stories to be told about this one because it's 3 rounds for G2. And if they're not coming easy, if the rounds aren't seeming competitive, it becomes more and more unlikely. And it's not saying ENCE are going to win, it's just saying this is going to be extended.
Oh, yeah. That's a rough one for Diha. Swallows the flash just as he's going for the Aggie maneuver.
Hades is chasing.
Speaking of aggressive maneuvers, this time the bodyguard will strike 2 to the good. We've seen that before.
Yeah, how can it fall apart again here? Now, if they're able to be a bit more procedural about this, make their way up heaven, the bomb is in yard on Amanek's back, so that is all right. The same molly from niko again, and this time niko's trying to take a bit more space. Just sound cues. Nothing really given here as heaven is taken. Spinks is forward.
Implied that he'd gone round to the single door. Doto could have... Oh, a quick one on the flank. Yeah, niko's dealt with it, so... G2. Why am I still questioning whether this is safe and secure?
Isn't it crazy?
I shouldn't be.
No,
I don't know what's happened. What, they've just put me in this box. I don't envy anyone that's in the G2 HQ watching this one unfold. Just doubt sown after a dominant half. But a 5-2 advantage. And yeah, you can see the CTs looking very passive for now in lobby. They've grouped up. Wow.
Stapled to the wall.
Yeah. Plugged in, switched on. Hunter struggling to find him.
Snappy getting away with 2 there. Look, it's the end of the round. niko does finish the job. The dinner plate is clear, and
I think for a second he was thinking about it.
niko doesn't strike me as the guy who's gone for knife kills, though. He doesn't strike me as that kind of guy. But ENCE have plenty of cash. There's no dramas in that department right now for round number 22. Their buyers looking juicy. AWP, M4s for all. And on the other side of things, it's G2 into 5 AKs. So if they can do a similar type of round, you maybe even want to run the same thing. Right? You might not get greeted with those 2 openings like you did onto Hades and Diha, but the maneuver. Oh, taste your own medicine right there, Spinks. Spammed on through. He knows just how dangerous that game can be. Hunter avenging his cousin from the first half. And now Hades with even more responsibility here. Notice how Hades isn't backing down just yet. If they don't molly his position when they go for the smoke wall yard, he might be able to pick off 1 or 2 here. Lobbed on out. That's the tell that they're coming. There's the Molotov.
There it is. It's right on the money. Flash for good measure. Hades could go down to the spread. Yeah, loses 60 HP for that. Doto, you can see his frustration. That's, might actually add more insult to injury. They were both on top of each other. niko still gets them both, and now, well, the top side's lost, as is the round. Hades was secret, unconfirmed. Snappy waiting for their flames before he can have a little look.
They should save here, but I think they may as well give it a go. You don't want to have to defend against 15 with 8 rounds in a row. Looking at 1900 in the next round. Hades dropping lower means maybe they will just go for the save. You can see Hades with a full bucket of utility, and if G2 were to start hunting, with Snappy's position, he could dive out of heaven and go for a bit of a goblin defuse. niko is coming, though. He's dropped down the vent. He's been able to weasel his way towards this lower site, and he's gone looking in the wrong direction. So the game of Where's Waldo might need to be revised here. Snappy perched in heaven, plenty of HP. He's not going to go down now. niko's going to use the sound cure. I think Hades has heard him coming. It doesn't matter. niko takes the AWP out. See you later. This one looking like it's set now for G2 to finish us off and take us to Dust 2. It's crazy how these maps have been traded between both these teams.
It is going to be super interesting to see if G2 are in category A or B. You know, we'll use Vitality and Copenhagen Flames as those options, and whether or not they'll fall into the kind of playing it as was, or whether we see the Copenhagen Flames deviations. That's some of our members of the player management team.
I think they're in enjoying the games.
Love that.
Looking after the players and now watching them.
For them, yeah. Awesome. And so is that from Diha. Will he get away? He's off for secret and actually off for some more. You know, Hunter will punish. Didn't finish my point. What was it? Oh, yeah. Will G2 play the standard Dust 2? I suspect ENCE, like I'm almost guaranteeing ENCE are going to have something a little spicy up their sleeve.
Both teams are probably hoping that they've solved the puzzle already, right? That's going to be a Windows smoke, so Hades is going to have to peer out to the left. You can see that just bouncing off his wall to his left-hand side. Scuttle's in front of the windows, cannot play from lockers. Now, they can stay on the right-hand side of Unbreakable there, and they will. So pressure mounting now for Hades, and he knows it's coming. Still gets a kill, though.
Yeah, does not hesitate. Deletes Nexa.
He knows they have to be up, though.
Yeah, and he
surely.
Book himself.
If he jumps through the window, though.
It's broken.
Okay. Pep in his step now.
Yeah.
Oh, sound cue.
Was it?
I think so.
Might have had walk pressed. That could have been okay on the velocity. Oh, he could get checked.
Maybe it is okay. Oh.
Tough one. Flashing into the top site now. Amanek from main. They want to clear out this position. It's hard on the Z-axis. Even trades. It's up to Amanek, really.
20 seconds.
Yeah, he has to find Dote. Oh, that's a sound cue and a half. If they can clear Snappy now, they know they've got the site to themselves, and they know where he is. Oh, Amanek looking to come up clutch.
He's got a little bit of time for this. It's going to be close.
Oh my God, it's so close. There it is. Amanek clutches up. We're off to Dust 2. All to play for now, essentially a best of one. G2 in pursuit of glory and legend status, and the boys from ENCE one map away from the major.
Can you hear me? Yes, yes. Nice, nice, nice. Again, the start. From the start. We ready. We headshot. We ENCE.
We are the 5 fingers. You hear me, guys? It's okay? Yeah. Okay, hey guys, let's go. Allez, vamos, boys.
One more.
Nice!
Nice. Sick! I'm coming again, Nexa.
Let's go, let's fight.
Okay, then.
Nice!
They bought, yeah? Yeah, they buy. Let's buy. Don't see him.
Nice! Sick enter. Nice enter. Left side.
One side.
One nice! Jump on Jackie's head and kill him, bro.
Nice!
Nice, Hunter, nice shoot.
Cut, crossing the smoke.
I'm behind. Let me see.
Nice!
What?
Let's go. Let's try to do complexity now.
Is it dark? AK. Swinging to the left now.
Nice!
Easy, 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 easy. Looking good.
Nice!
Good job. Easy.
Good job. He's down, down in front of us.
Nice
try.
try. Focus next.
The last 5, we are in good position. Yes, yes. Nice, Pavel! Ah, nice try. Not bad.
Nice.
Nice! Let's go!
Nice shot.
Nice try.
Nice. Good.
Insane, guys. Nice next shot. Nice next shot.
Nice. Big one out.
Nice,
Nice.
Sick boy, sick call. Play with confidence, have fun, and then we have some lower rushes.
Yeah, just put up some energy.
Let's go.
Very
nice
nice.
try.
Nice try. Nice shot, one.
Outside long. Can go under. Nice.
Marco. Marco.
Nice. Good job.
Nice. Nice. Sick round, Nico. Nice.
Good. Nice Racha. Sick round, bro.
Nice.
Nice.
They're looking at us, an audience. Keep telling us what we can do, but here we are, showing them, making them wish they were you. We've heard the most when it comes to this. Yeah, every shade of blue, but don't even.
So Nuke goes handily in the way of G2, and that does set us up for a third and final map here in this quarterfinal. We're still on the top side of the bracket, everybody. G2 fighting tooth and nail, and I need to introduce my co-host here. Of course, we have DNK, or Dinko, formerly known as, and then if Yanko is the QB, you might as well consider me Lombardi.
Wow, that's pretty humble, Trace.
Sorry, I want to throw myself out there.
Well, listen, I think this map is a good example of why we said a lot of what happens in this series depends on which G2 shows up. And G2 on Nuke was the G2 we saw throughout the group stage. I mean, a 67 scoreline with losing both pistols, really impressive, and they've just been on point from start to finish.
So at any point in this, was ENCE in control of Nuke at all, period?
No, I don't think so. I think they were getting into the sites enough. I think they were doing a good job of getting into the sites, but retakes from G2 were just so solid. They just looked so good on those retake attempts. And also, I think G2 just looked good in comparison to Mirage in terms of the individual stepping up. niko and Hunter didn't do anything in the first map, but they were there to play. And I think for G2, this is exactly what you just said, Yanke. The fact that they are the team we've seen in the groups, they're just much more comfortable here.
I think it's important to explain because you're watching this game or you're listening to us talk and you're like, well, what does that mean? Like, these guys just decided to play better and now they won the game. Like, how does that work? Well, it works in this way, right? Any strategy you use, like whatever you do in terms of team play to help yourselves out, flashes, all the utility is there. It's there to give your players an advantage when they face the opponent, right? So that the duel is not a 50-50 or you're at a disadvantage. It's like, you know, obviously if you're running in and your opponent is full blind, that's like a 95-5 odds in your favor, right? So what we mean when we say, well, they just stepped up individually and there was nothing the opponent could do is, even when ENCE put themselves in positions, they put their players in positions where they have an advantage in the fight, G2 was still winning those fights. And when that is happening throughout the map, you know, that really limits what you can do to fight it.
Yeah, the team play from G2 was just on point. You could hear the comms again towards the end. It was a lot less hectic than it was over Mirage. And I think that it just seemed like everything is going well in this map. Like, everything's linking up. The team play solid. You see there's no one peeking without a flash. I think the flashes were perfect from G2 throughout this entire game. I'm going to touch on a round a little bit later on where...
Why don't you do it right now?
Yeah, I'll do it right now then. We'll talk about a round coming through. It was just a perfect flash from Amanek. Yeah,
send it.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it was a round here from Amanek. He was pulling off the retake in round 14. His three teammates are gathering up in Heaven throws a flash on in from CT spawn. It completely blinds the opponent here in front of him, Doto, and the dive just comes in. You see G2 just grouping up. The timing's perfect. No one's going alone. niko does get blinded, but Nexa able to just drop down, take out 2 players, and completely blinded. And that's just giving him a huge advantage into these retakes. You know, ENCE getting into the site here, getting that bomb down, but G2 just winning all those important fights. Utilities on point. Communication and teamwork has to be perfect there.
Yeah, on top of all the multi-kills they were already getting, they also had a good amount of team play going for them. And, you know, there was a couple of situations where ENCE has a pretty decent call in terms of what the setup is for G2, but just, you know, Jax in the inner bomb side gets an extra kill, Hunter gets an extra kill, or just stays alive for a couple of seconds longer, and that allows the rotation to come in, and that's all it takes. Nuke is a lot about rotations. They're pretty fast, going up, down, right, all of that stuff, and G2 was just on another level this time around.
So where does it change? You know, what does the script look like? Because I didn't read that far ahead in the script. We only are privy to it a few hours before broadcast. When we go to Dust 2, because it's the next and final map. Dinko, what happens here?
Well, I think G2, if they just play like this again, you know, good, simple team play, it's exactly what you need on Dust 2. It's just perfect team play, good flashes, really bring it down to the simple Counter-Strike. Coming into Dust 2, we will hopefully see some of that aggression into short again, some of those lower tunnel peaks. We didn't get to see too much of Vitality yesterday. Maybe G2 have a little bit more aggression up their sleeve in towards mid. I definitely want to see that. And for ENCE, they didn't really seem too phased by that loss. They should be, but the columns were still clean, and they're heading into this final map. I feel like just try and turn it into this best of one mentality. Dust 2 is a map that could go either way, but G2 with that team play should be able to pick it up.
Yeah, and I give the advantage to G2 as well, not necessarily because of Nuke, because even outside of that, ENCE isn't really a Dust 2 team. You know, they play it mostly when they have to, and G2, you know, it's been their map for a while, then it hasn't, and so on and so on. They just have more experience on the map. So even if we disregard the map change, they are still the more drilled team on the map. So we'll see what they have done in these 4 days to really figure out if is there something that they want to do after the update that's a little bit different than what we've been seeing so far.
Yeah, and we're about ready to see that map, which means we will stop talk and we will start match, but not now. We need to go to a break. You know how, no, we're going to the damn game. I'm going to tell you again, we're going to the damn game. That's right, Dust 2 to end the series. And this is where it all comes down to in this quarterfinal. It's going to be ENCE in one corner, G2 in the other. Who do you got? Let us know. Hashtag IEM and whatever social media platform you want to choose. And we'll be right back after the break.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium. The complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
Выберите идеальный состав из состава G2 и mousesports. В любом случае идут два брата, это Нiko и Hunter. Сразу идут в состав. Так бы я взял бы Робса. На АВП я взял бы Акора, а вот капитаном бы я не знаю, кого взял бы. Скорее всего, я бы назначил капитаном Нику и... А нет, Нексу. Нексу возьму, да. Некса капитана. Ника, Хантер, Некса, Робс и Акор.
Давайте мы возьмем сразу же команду G2, возьмем троих там игроков, возьмем Ника, Хантера и Нексу на капитана, и возьмем снайпера у mousesports, Акора и Робса. Думаю, так было бы замечательно.
Из G2
я бы взял Нико и Хантера, двух братьев Ковачей. На роль снайпера я бы взял бы все-таки, наверное, Эйкара из mousesports. Обязательно бы взял Рапса, потому что он просто дикий. И, наверное, еще из mousesports Бимаса.
If I would pick between G2 and mousesports, that'll be really hard. First of all, I think I would from G2 I would definitely go with the Niko and Hunter brother duo, and I would as well like take Ups and Frozen and probably Acre, because we do need to send out some AWP in the team. So that would be it. Niko, Hunter, Frozen, Acre, and Ups.
Very good evening to everybody watching and joining us as we do burn the midnight oil in pursuit of the conclusion of G2 and ENCE. They're just knifing for side now, as you do on the third map, and I've got Chad Sponge Birchall with me.
Spud for short.
Spud for short, a little bleary eyes, a little delirious, but we're ready to bring you that third map, Chad. If they've just tuned in, I suppose now we're probably talking about different regions as opposed to Europeans who are setting alarms for their bedtime.
Yeah, I'm sure the North American Counter-Strike is coming soon, guys, and you can see how serious they are all taking this knife round. So yeah, looking in on this one, you missed Mirage. That was the pick at G2, where ENCE, well, they're not shabby on that one either. They picked it up in quite convincing fashion. We moved into Nuke, which was the pick of ENCE, and traditionally home ground for a man like Snappy, but they got beaten up, bruised, battered. They looked rough as guts on that one here, and now both teams are more than happy just to wait on out this knife round. Now, they want to have it an even fight. You don't want to get cheesed by players on the door, all that kind of stuff. League Ops is actually getting involved in here to make them hurry on up. This has been a long day. So, knife round now as they charge on in. The winners of this one, it's looking like it is going to be ENCE. Now, I'm curious to see what side they want to start on. If you have missed the recent update to do with Dust 2, there have been some changes to the map itself. Right here in T-Spawn, there's a bit of a bollard that's been put on up so you can't see all the way on down. And that's going to adjust the ways the CTs play. Also the Ts, are they going to have slower defaults? They're going to be more precarious as they make their way into the tunnels? All those questions need to be answered right now.
And we get the answer first due to the one knife from ENCE.
That's beautiful. So we really get to see whatever they are going to throw in the way of G2, how quick can they solve this puzzle? Because it all comes down to a bit of a theory here. You know, how do you think the map should be best approached, or is it just business as usual?
Coach saw behind the boys of ENCE and a competitive fighting spirit to be maintained, although Nuke did get rough. 13-2 half really doesn't get much rougher. G2 closing out ENCE's picks, but the slate wiped clean, and Dust 2 to determine whether or not we will have all of the quote-unquote underdogs. I really am unhappy with framing ENCE in that light, but in the terms of the bracket, in terms of FaZe's major glory and chances, it could be confirmed after this map.
Implications at an all-time high, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, G2 legend status, ENCE a spot at the major, FaZe a spot at the major. It's all up for debate after this map of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, lots to be discussed here as we do get underway here with the final map of the night for the EU RMR.
Harry and Hugo probably just pulling up now to be bringing you the North American stuff, so if you are as screwed in the sleep schedule...
Oh, okay. There you go. 4 players into Lower Dark, Alex.
That's
just 4.
That's the answer to the question. And look at the Hunter and Niko partnership to solve that. Aha! They don't even have the bomb. That was just to house any potential funny business. And the funny business continues. 3, pushing up mid. 3, pushing up mid. Aminate, they're all in like a strike position.
Yeah, This is crazy. This is crazy.
It's already very fruity, and G2, they anticipated it. They had a counter to the counter.
Such a strange look for Dust too, seeing the CTs barreling up like that, isn't it? But had to come to expect it. And Jax quick on the flick. Diha now, he's being good. The bomb's segregated, Alex. The bomb is outside tunnels. Diha's locked into B. He pushes forward. It's a 2v1 now.
He's up.
Wait, the bomb's going back to A.
The 1v4, and he's going to mid doors. He might even catch a glimpse of Nexa, the old Nexa. Would have spotted him there. The old Dust 2, rather.
Well, yeah, this is actually up for discussion.
No way! What is happening?
Next going back. He's going to go back to B now.
No, D is aware. He is just switched on.
What is happening?
He is switched on. Everything he's done is perfect, and he spots the head of Nexa. No way! 16 HP. This would be some clutch. G2 only needed one more frag. They had 4 hearts beating. Nexa to plant flashes him off. Nexa v Diha. Some stunning clicks out of the pole. Pushing the smoke, some tags, and it's the frag recovered. Nexa, that was massive. Diha so close to getting G2 full tilt. Full tilt round 1.
I know it's late, but did that really just almost happen?
I mean, we'll watch it through the replays. Look, it was supposed to be over. The push, by the way, inspired. He catches niko pulling out a Molotov because no one in their right mind is pushing that smoke after the first kill. Look at this from Nexa. God, just playing around that smoke and everyone can just sigh a little bit of relief. ENCE have forced.
Oh,
Hades has been caught and it's a fight on the doors. Doesn't matter the change.
You all right?
Yeah, sorry, I'm still just... I just can't, but I couldn't imagine any worse way to start off the third map with so many implications if G2 had lost that.
Well,
I mean, or incredibly for ENCE, of course. I'm just thinking about the G2 tilt factor. Those boys aren't...
Known to let it go, let it slide. I sent Carrigan a DM. I said, hello, Carrigan, looking for your official prediction for this final map. He said, overtime incoming, just to make things, just to make me full stressed. So,
wowzers.
It is going to be looking like an A finish here, and 2 players to get past. Snappy scouts out. niko is out and about, down towards CT spawn. Diha's Phallus is good though, and oh, another kill for Diha. He continues to fight.
He's on a heater. And now Doto's hitting shots as well. G2 counting on Nexa. He saved them once. Can he save them again? No. A stern response from Snappy. And Diha, I don't know what fighting talk he was given by the coach, but he has come in. All guns are blazing in pursuit of his first major.
He's swinging for the fences now.
He wants to get there. He's pulling up all the stops in pursuit of it.
Well, this is how it started, right? So Amanek playing the peak from the Death Alley position, does get the trade on, but Diha just pantsers niko there, who's trying to play in that smoke. Doto with a nice shot off camera as well there, and a couple of bangers here out of ENCE as we tie it up 1-1. The force spy back, Deagle's out for G2. Scout for Amanek. Let's see if he can have another gnarly shot through the doors here, but this one is going to slow on down a little bit. Lower dark steps heard. Snappy should be aware that they're close now. This is looking more like a standard Dust 2 round, so no funny business here.
You wait till Diha starts pulling the trigger. Damn, Amanek.
Oh, that's 2 in a
He's
row.
2 for 2. Through the doors, into the head, the scout, setting G2 up for a competitive one here. They're surging into the site flash. Ooh, forces Hades off. One more chance. And niko seizes it. Okay, this is going to be a very spooky Dust 2. I can feel it in the waters. Diha continues to kick up a fuss. Every shot connects. Diha, he wants that major, denies it. Oh, get out of my server.
He's a monster.
Absolutely possessed. G2 just got everything. You get your opener mid. You get the follow-up into the site, and Diha, yeah, he is full locked on his screen.
Just a little nod.
Barely breaking his concentration.
Just a little nod. Mate, you've almost had the most epic of impact 3 rounds in a row.
Wow. He gets the first. He's operating at 60 HP. The shots that followed, Amanek, niko, Nexa just domed.
Jesus. All right. Well, Amanek down to a scout again.
Just do 2 back-to-back, I guess.
Well, the tags there, so they are continuing this up, and he's tagged 2 people in
Feeling
two
himself.
shots. This guy's not meant to be a primary on the sniper rifles, at least with the impact. So that damage, unconfirmed, sure, but they still have niko on the deagle. If they can find a kill and tip something into these Glocks' hands, hopefully, if you're a G2 fan, Diha is one of the scalps they find early here. Well, making their way silently up towards this catwalk position. They're all here. But this is where you do have to hope that niko's deagle rings true. And we've seen him hit some bangers. This would be the perfect time to do exactly that.
Hades is in transition right now, actively held by that snappy player, so...
Nades.
Ooh, evasive maneuvers.
He just needs one chance.
That's nice wide from Snappy. Missed shot out of Hades. Amnek can take a little step further, but it's into the line of fire of Snappy, and he is delivering. Just housing any potential that was set up by Amnek's tags. A Glock and a dream. Scout shot doesn't quite connect. Hades holding on to his AWP. Can't afford to lose that, but his teammates will be scooping that up regardless. Oh, right on the money. Diha, of course, posting his 10th, and it's with a nice nade to the jaw.
Okay, well, for Amanek, I guess he knew that he was going to be operating with a scout again. So scouts on scouts on scouts here for Amanek. He buys into one again. niko down to a Galil. I never love to see that in his hands, but the rest are going to get AKs with some nades around it. And maybe, just maybe. Oh, okay, well, if you were all tuned into a video that Launders did recently, you would have seen just the damage done by Alexi Bizzle on this very map. The util from that CT position can be fantastic to pepper players trying to work on the short control. And there's the first of what I'm sure will be many. Diha drops one out. Nobody close enough to take a lick of damage to that. And actually throwing them up. So we should see a HE from Snappy here towards lower tunnels. And this is where the map is going to take shape. Another nade coming. niko's gotten out of there quite quickly. He's only going to sustain damage from the first.
It's going to be 3 nades out of Snappy's hands here. Oh, niko. There's another one coming. You better watch out. You better not cry.
Oh, they flubbed that one. Well, you can see what's destined for this half, ladies and gentlemen. Expect a lot more of that out of ENCE here. It's naughty, but you can see what it's achieved, and I'm sure niko's not too happy about things here.
This is going to be a battle, especially with Diha in this form.
Doto at long, they're coming knocking. The mid-to-B smokes are all a bit of a ruse.
Doto up against 3. Does catch Jax, turns the flash. He's looking good. Flashing himself for an engagement here. The Cousins have partnered up in pursuit of that frag, and they can't finish it. Doto takes them all down. The whole G2 squad pantsed in public. 4 for ENCE. G2 have to go back to the drawing board. They're back, baby. 4 of the 16 required to get themselves to the major.
What have these maps been? Mirage, the first half competitive. Nuke, it was just an absolute blowout. And now here, early, ENCE are looking sharp as ever. Like, this is wild. They are not backing down from this fight. Here to play today. We all know what's on the line. We'll spell it out one more time. ENCE win this, they're into the major. That, for a lot of these players, is their very first. G2, on the other side of things, legend status, skipping that entire first round of play, is in their hands.
And just to recap the first round of play, because they tweeted the format, right? We're going back to Swiss with best of 3s for promo or elim.
Yeah, so the way it's going to work is you're going to need to win 3 games in Swiss to get you through to the next round of Swiss, right? So
technically they could be skipping 3 games if they banged it out.
Even potentially more if they lose them as well, right? So there's 5 matches total that could be played. 3 wins, you're through. 3 losses, you're out. But you have to do that twice if you start in the contender and challenger stage.
Touché. Okay. Back to long. No Doto to worry about this time. He's doing things elsewhere. And actually, I say you don't have to worry about him. He's got a nade right on the money. Juggling that deagle, making sure they can find some value with it.
To to be fair, when you think about things, right, that was all through the CT half in the last map for G2, right? Like getting those 3 rounds on the T side, not the hardest, but they managed to get 7 rounds on their T side of Mirage, and then their CT side was weak. So we've seen good T halves from G2 and good CT halves from G2. Now we just need both of them to come together at the same time. Whereas ENCE, look, I guess we could say the same. But in map number 1, they had a good CT and a good T half. So off base there, I think. This is more a baiting out that U2. And I think on Mirage, G2 looked a bit scared to me, right? They looked a little bit scared. And we don't want to see that cropping up here again because we want a competitive map. We want a competitive third with so much on the line. They go back towards A. Another smoke to deny, and well, with 30 seconds left, they either have to play through it, and they will. Dropped into spawn. amanek, that's huge. Okay, 3 pistol kills in 3 seconds.
Scary, yeah, it just goes from a very quiet minute and a half. And they strike in unison. This could be unchecked. Oh, DHUT continues to pull ENCE forward into a 5th. Can he close? They got the kits. A flash from Spinks. Coming in from CT, not going to be easy to set up his teammate here. Nexa to take the first engagement. niko low, just a deagle. It's on this AK from Nexa to contribute here. Flash indicates his position. Good play, 1-on-1.
Has to clutch again.
Play the time. Nexa looking to secure it, and he does. G2 on the light buys post their second. That is a sign of life from the Samurai.
That's crazy right there. Both their rounds have been converted by Nexa, right? In the final throws right here, and both actually through pistols. This is the amanek kill that came on in, but then multiple frags across. Nexa got another kill in the fray of all of this, and you're right, DHUT doing absolutely everything he possibly can to keep ENCE in a round like that they should have been securing, but now, well, both teams have a buy and 2 towards lower here. That's for niko to deal with. Alex and Hades gets the opening 2 kills immediately. ENCE's aggression, it pays off.
Oh, disaster. Lost. Space. Taken. Tons is under CT rule. And that's an interesting call. Knowing that all that tons was taken, all that space was taken in tons, they choose to return upon the fade.
But now they can just reset into a normal dust too, right? And that just melts so much time off the clock, right? You know when we have a map like Overpass, guys, and we talk about the CTs going forward up to Playground, wanting to take fights up their Fountain, and then them having to comb and claw back through the map. Well, they have to do the same task right now with upper tunnels. And even if they get this area of the map, they don't know what the CT defense looks like at all. No info long, no info mid. Everybody nestled in upper tunnels, and that's coming towards Spinks and Snappy.
Yeah, there's one way in which Jax could catch Spinks on this jiggle. But
Jax the AWPer.
He's not going to get the early warning sign. A nice escape from Spinks. Smokes it off. Turns the flash. And, well, that might be enough from G2 to change their plans.
What on earth is going on here? Well, denied, and there's still only 2 players residing on the site here from ENCE. I think they're calling the save. There's so much indecision right now. And that, I guess, comes from the fact that they don't know what's going on the map. So ENCE, just through the early phrase of this one here, cause absolute chaos. They'll save the AWP for amanek, great. There's 2 AKs to carry through as well. amanek has enough to drop an AK, so that's all right there too. Oh, you can maybe even drop 2 AKs here. So with that little piece of information, you can understand it a little bit more, but here we go. We did think that ENCE were going to be the ones throwing out more of these looks, and well, what position did that leave you in? If you're G2 and you're not getting the bloody long spawns and you're wanting to go for a default round, just think about how much more cautious you're going to have to be taking that space. And, well, they don't have a long spawn. It's just one player who did have a good position for it. It's jumped on down the suicide, dropped a molly to stop them from going suicide. Sorry, lower dark. And that's help, but now they're pushing upper tunnels.
Here we go.
Oh, this is mental.
What a gap.
I love this.
Yeah, Jax. Oh, it's already gone down. Hunter's next. And yeah, they're feeling the wrath of ENCE. Look at all the nades they're playing with as well, Chad. They are going to bully G2. Oh, my caramba.
They immediately responded to that molly. Like, they just, well, we'll just push upper tunnels. You're so worried about lower dark. We'll have pressure elsewhere.
niko might put his fist through his desk. Oh, adjusts. Okay, space on B. Smoke deployed. It's got a huge gap in it.
Massive gap in it.
And that could lead to niko's demise. They're all coming into B. Hades is posted up.
It, Amanek.
Someone re-smoke it. It's a dodgy one. That's a lot better. The retake, 4 versus 3.
It might go fast. There's a flash primed.
Yeah. Amanek, he's got to be careful here. Throws out a flash of his own to delay.
Burning now.
Considering the push. There's 4 members here for this. A couple of flashes, or just the one, in fact, on Hades. Smoke from Snappy for the tunnel's position if he desires, or perhaps even the bomb. And this is the go sign. Snappy draws blood.
Flash.
Just dry. Just dry. Doto again, and that's the end of them. End 6. And G2 looking discombobulated.
That's a great word for things right now. And this was the question mark. What was Dust2 going to offer? What kind of look on the CT side? Right, remember ENCE? I think they were the ones that won the knife, right? I don't remember which way it unfolded. Yeah, but so then they've opted to come here on the CT side. They've opted to throw all this at G2. And if there's one way you're going to unravel them, oh, this is how it's going to be done. Oh, okay.
Like they've just, like ENCE have cupped their hands and just slammed on their eardrums.
Oh!
From both sides.
That was huge from Amanek. Hades is gone, the AWP on the other side's down.
He's been playing like that Dust2's cross simulator. Getting it drilled. And niko puts a second on the board as well. Oh no, they've lined up for long. He nearly took down 3 with 1 spray, bro. Oh, and Sphinx is pushing the smoke. This is chaos. Calm it down. Bomb long. Snappy screams. Hunter's taking fight. Snappy takes a third.
And straight into the AWP walks niko. They are getting rattled here.
ENCE, man. This is going to be the good vibrations they needed.
Where were the smiles on the faces on Nuke? They are back in a big way. Nothing they can do is a foot wrong.
Look how this started. Amanek banged
shot through the doors as well.
They had a 3v5, and that was nearly 3. He finishes off Hunter in the end as well on pit. Pot shots taken, and that's a smile from a Finn. That's how you know things are going well.
Oh dear, I think Doto's a different breed. I remember we got to interview him, and he actually gave us some words, so we knew immediately that Doto wasn't like the others.
And he cracks a joke or two. It was great to play with him and parhaat.
I'm glad that we've seen a timeout here, but I may even consider back-to-back timeouts if I was Malik, the coach of G2 here, because what's being thrown your way is something you don't know how to expect. And the issue is, you only have limited time to discuss through the theory of reactions. So once they do this, how do we react? Well, right now, there's a couple of options of how they can deal with this, but it's not looking good. ENCE are really exploiting this new change. They haven't had to worry about the long takes whatsoever. It looks like G2 have an answer with that fast mid molly, but it doesn't stop a lot.
Doesn't stop Snappy. Using that Xbox smoke against him, we'll get information that there's nothing... Oh, niko's going to swallow that as well, or at least tickles his toes. Half investment here from G2, just looking to put themselves on the board, and they've done it a couple of times. We saw not only the pistol, but the Deagles did put their second on the board. Oh, and the nade juggling. You're going to get more. An extra chance from Snappy. The timing looks perfect, and that is perfection. Look at this CTU till raining down terror. G2 don't get to play the game.
They only have 2 rounds. One was the pistol. The other was a light buy. Wow. May as well almost have been called an eco.
Yeah, a deco. A stretch.
Oh, another nade coming on through.
Oh, bowling from DHut.
They're all just inspecting niko's corpse. Hey, you got anything we can take? Any loot around here?
Does feel a little bit more like a BR. Getting hunted at this point, the poor souls. And the timing on his spray. He does choose to engage. They try and leap over the spray. Next to that's something. But yeah, you're not going to get into the B side for free. Spinks lying in wait. Amanek looking the wrong way. Nex is in trouble. And Spinks will finish things off clean. 8 already. They've won out the half in this must-win game for Major Glory.
Oh, I'm going to quickly check the video and remind myself who decided to take it to Dust2.
It was G2. They had the choice between Ancient and Dust2, if I remember correctly.
You're correct. they've decided to take it here.
They would rather
risk the unknown
than go into Ancient. It does tell us more about their confidence in Ancient than anything else.
They've been shell-shocked early here. Well, there's still an opportunity to get back into this one. Maybe they have just as many cheeky beaky plays for their CT side, but the upper dark aggressors again. Hunter ready for that. Now that deathmatch is really beginning. We've seen this several times before. Now they have to convert. You can't let another one of these go by the wayside.
You can't. You also saw G2 get off to a flying start on Mirage and ended up under an 8-7-half. Hades spotted CT, and that should be enough information. That should be enough information on its own to be planting that bomb uncontested. An after plant from
Hades establishes pick control. Doto pushing up on the close wall. D-Hard drawing attention, and that Molly pushing them wide.
Shaping up. More nade damage. Where did their health just go? And a miss from Hades. That might be enough of a deterrent. He has put it down in time, but yeah, no time for that defuse.
Okay, well, a third, and this time through guns. The kills came their way again, though, right? You saw the aggressive maneuver up through the upper tunnels. You saw Snappy trying his luck up mid as well.
So I have a question.
Yes?
That's the first time G2 have actually just hit the shots necessary with the hyper aggression. Does Snappy let his players continue? Or do you just put the you put the leash on, not too tight, but you're just gonna, at least hold the leash this time?
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit more supervision, but the problem is Snappy's also one that's been let out of the kennel here.
He's going short,
so,
and he has his 2B players pushing tons. I mean, it's not gonna... Oh, it is gonna look different.
It's a long take, finally, here. They're using these spawns.
Going through it, going fast. It feels different already.
Now, with the mid push right now, you can push on up, and that's what we've seen as an answer to this all in long. Spinx is already taking advantage of that, right? You know that there's not going to be an AWPer and T-spawn that can stop at least this. So he's gone on through. And now we're looking more regular programming here.
I was wondering when we'd see this round. It took us 12.
Yeah, and I think that was a big issue to do with the spawns that were available for G2 here. So finally, with the guns available as well as the spawn, it comes on through. But a flub flash.
Yeah, Snappy's got all the vision in the world, and actually just dropping out smoke to play around. That might buy time. They'll throw out their wall. The first part of it, that underhand nade is good as well. We'll be checking in on
They have to go A, though.
They are coming. niko's legs going to be spotted about. Oh no, Snappy on the jump. That is quite the condemnation. Now the deep one towards Ram. And niko catches another. Spinx on the advance. Diha, what a strong start it was from him. But I fear that is just a demand too high.
Yeah, I might actually have to go for the save this time round. So not even going to consider the look in on the retake. All five staying alive, and G2 are now changing the narrative. And I think that frustration was starting to bleed in, especially the round where they retook B and Snappy swung dry through window, right? Because that's not the type of Counter-Strike you're expecting. He was on his own, and that's where the frustrations would start to really boil over for G2. But I think it's a frustration that would help them. And what I mean there is like, oh, this is the type of, I see now.
This is what you want to do.
Yeah, and they're more than happy to do that, right? Don't question whether or not they want to biff in that same regard. So 4 on the board.
I had that exact same thought when I saw Hunter being pushed in tons and him actually finally kill Spinx. He's like, this is, you guys are, like, they're hitting them with that, you know how Astralis were treating Fiend?
Yeah.
It feels that same way, and it's probably quite rare for G2 to feel like they're being treated that way.
Yeah, I understand. I'm with you there.
And I realize that may not have been a perfect or easy to understand explanation, but yeah, ENCE have really thrown some fuel on the G2 fire with some of the aggressive maneuvers they've been pulling off and succeeding with, as well as of course the individual brilliance of Diha coming in long. Good spot. Hunter not quite on the mark. Vision restored. niko again with the double nade swallow. Snappy looking for a third. It's provided by Hades, and ENCE right back to their fighting ways. Nexus got a grey screen. He's trying to play around it towards that blue bin. This could be something from Nexa, but the combination of bullets and flame put it all onto Amanek to extend their lead in this CT half of a must-win map. So many ramifications, and Amanek's having a walk. It is only Diha. It's not like he's going to get shot in the bottom. Only. The highest fragger in the server, I suppose I should specify. And yep, looking the wrong way. Knocked down. Double AWP was available. Don't opt for it.
That was a regular round there, though, right?
Yeah.
They went for a standard long take with 3 players. And you can see what G2 are doing. They're dropping the flashes on the way so that one individual, maybe two, can lob them all out as they try and push through, and raining flashes above is the opener that they're looking for.
Chad, without looking, what do you reckon Snappy's utility damage is at?
This early, he's hit a couple of nice ones. I'm going to say in the ballpark of about 350.
He is at 477 utility damage, so not far off, but almost a grand total of about 5 kills in 13 rounds of play.
Okay.
120 ADR for him, 128 for Diha. That is
high.
High.
6 here is, well, another mark that's been set or left for G2 to get in this first half. And, well, again, there's no long spawn, so it's going to have to be the pivot back towards B, and maybe some lower presence was being flirted with. You could see multiple members around the mid doors, and Amanex had success on that, but only 5 kills. You can see it has only come through the scout and the AWP, and not all the rounds where he found those openings were even converted. So, might be feeling hard done by this impact. Two profited upon.
2 standard rounds in a row. Ah.
Yeah, normality, it resumes. Oh, here comes the nades again. Oh, one. He has been mollied back, so I don't think he'll try to nade lower dark again. Jax with 3 kills. You'd love to see him get an opener with that AK.
Or B side. I think they can hold on to that information. Admittedly, the smoke up may plant some seeds of doubt. And speaking of smoke, that's the penultimate drop by ENCE. Short control taken. We're at that 40-second marker. Hunter lingers tons. Will continue to try and...
Splitting B, I think.
Split B. Oh, yeah. Quick, so just deny short. Snappy calls for the flash. They are doing the dance. Even trades, leaves ENCE at an advantage. Spinks still tucked in aggressive. It's up to Nexa. He needs this duel, and he does get it. Through the flash, Hades has revealed himself to be in the site, and Nexa has made space in pursuit of the 5th.
Do they consider this?
They got cash. They don't have players. Doto last, spotted out as well. And so G2, when they get to play standard, Dust 2 seem to be thriving. Some long takes successful. A mid to B after short control taken. Keeping ENCE in the dark as much as they can.
We need to make sure we're singing the praises here of Nexa. A lot of impact for him. Remember, the 2 rounds that they got early were both his conversions late, and now with a lot of impact to lock down this mid to B strategy here. So good to see him stepping on up. Would love a teammate or two to start doing the same. He's 11 kills, and yeah, you are seeing that frustration building maybe more so on the ENCE side, even with this phenomenal start. And G2 are keeping their cool, right? When you notice, we can normally hear the teams through the wall if they're getting loud. You guys can normally hear them as well through the mics that have been set up. And so far from the G2 camp, it's just keeping it calm, keeping it cool, keeping it collected, and believing in the process here, as it were. We spoke about timing your peaks a little bit earlier on Mirage. Well, this would be the perfect time for G2 to peak in this series.
Yeah, if anyone's looking or struggling to comprehend where that frustration comes from, I mean, you just put yourself in Hades' shoes. You know, this has been such a quick rise to power, and now you're so close to realizing that ultimate goal. So many players across Amanek's screen, and he just gets blood splattered on the back wall. That's the only conclusion reached by him. 2 aggressing the tons. Hunter has struggled with this multiple times. The 2 cousins partner up, participating more, and both connect. ENCE up to their cheeky antics. Spinks, they know he's a B player.
Snappy's pushing along here as well.
Yeah, and Nexa was, and still is, actively patrolling.
I think it's probably a good call here for Snappy not to keep pushing. The 2 deaths have come from aggression here, and the rounds that G2 have started to pick up is all through ENCE pushing the issue. So those tricks that worked earlier starting to be found on out, but Spinks trying his luck here. AWP posted on a very aggressive line, and he wants to look for more. The flash that's well timed, but he's ahead of it, and the shot is good. There is a trade from Jax.
Yeah, surely they know that that's the B player down. At most, it's Hades. There's the indicator that he has rotated. So they're piecing it together. They really are. And with 50 seconds, Chad, the world's their oyster. The map is theirs. Nexa's going long.
Again.
Oh, he can ruin everything. And he has. Takes down 1. I think he suspects Jax was the partner with him, and that's the bomb. So Jax needs this. Does succeed.
You know where Hades was?
You do. And the bomb trying to get across, but they have to get across Hades' line. He is aware. Look at the time. This could be real.
Jax!
Oh, no, look at
his
the
head!
way. Okay, problem. Big problems for G2. Hades suspects the ace base has been taken. Here comes Nexa. Can he save G2 again? The answer's no. Hades, the god of the underworld, frustrated, but sends Nexa there. 10 for ENCE. 6 away from the major. G2 legend status getting a little farther away in the distance now.
Hey Future Pros! Today I'll show you a quick and easy way to smoke CT spawn from short as a terrorist. Your long players will love you for this one. To do the smoke, get in this corner next to this crate. Aim at the corner of this window and throw the smoke. As with all deep CT smokes, there can always be a slight top gap for the CTs to abuse, so be cautious with this one.
One final half to determine the answer to the question of whom shall be leaving with a W. It is the late stages of G2 ENCE. Coming into Dust 2, G2 had the option to take it to Ancient. They opted for D2, and I feel like ENCE have thrived in this environment.
They've been great. They're gimmicky little maneuvers, and maybe it'll become meta. Maybe it's not gimmicky at all, but they have taken this map update and they have milked it for all it's worth right here.
I think G2 have done the same level.
I don't think so.
Of preparation. I suspect not. I suspect not as well. Let's see if we do get that ENCE pistol underway. They traded pistols for most of the maps.
Nexa has been the hero here as well. He had a big impact in at least 3 rounds. They only managed 5, so somebody else having to step up now as we do turn our attention towards long. Hunter straight in towards lower, and it's a heavy B lean
they suspect they might be getting cheesy towards the tons, so if niko caught in transition, he's got the whole squad to deal with. tries to stabilize the aim. Bomb spotted, amanek desperate to delay. And they're scarpering to try and back him up.
There's no smoke for the cross, right?
They haven't had confirmation that the whole squad's there. It's quite a slow rotate out of Nexa and Jax.
Oh, they did a deep CT smoke to get across here. That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
And amanek, oh, aggressive, catches him on the reload. It doesn't matter because D is here. Hunter with something, needs a lot more. A lot more. It has to be a different candidate if G2 want the hero to deliver this pistol. And it's looking bleak. Working with scraps of HP. And this is great from ENCE. Hades takes the double as well. And I can't help but feel maybe I'm just applying my own theory and flavor to it, but when you've just been so successful with aggressive B tons pushes, suspecting they might lean a bit more heavily towards that side of the map, why not hit that long and isolating niko? You could see how slow that replay was, and Chad, we wanted to talk about that smoke.
Yeah, well, that smoke plays into exactly what you're saying here, expecting them to try and deal with those same type of mid plays. Well, if they have to rotate back over from B and there's a smoke in CT spawn, right, it's going to make stopping the cross very difficult. You either have to be in CT already pushed up long, and G2 have gone for the force.
Full investment, Chad. This has to be frags. Has to be. Nex has been given an intervention from God with that one. Low, Doto cowering in fear. Can anyone bail him out of trouble? They're trying. They're trying to get him out. Low, one bullet would do it. niko really struggling to connect the dots. Now he does, and only Hades remains. He's got the bomb at his toes, and a tag into Hunter's start. A Galil more promising as well.
Well, he can go, and he can pressure this mid to B.
amanek solves it. And G2 start with a force buy success of their own.
Well, knowing that Snappy's in the server here, I'm going to assume that ENCE might go for a force buy back of their own, but those rounds, we know how hard they are to win. I can see the upgrades coming on through, but you're right. At Nexa, I don't know how he managed that. I've never seen anybody spray and pray with the deagle quite like that. And manages to get a very important opening kill. A couple of techers. P250, a deagle, nykytilan. We're going to turn our attention towards the B side of the map here. 3 players gravitating towards the second letter of the alphabet for G2. Hunter and amanek close around mid. Nexa tasked with a lot of room, and if it is the mid to B, they have the pieces in the right place. niko's even floating back over as well here, so hedging their bets. They know what's coming, G2. Look at all the bodies they have to deal with this. There's nobody watching short. I know that we can see amanek covering off with the scout. Now they'll have to respect this because that rotation is made more than possible with the hinge smoke, but they're set up for the B play. And now it's just Nexa on the site. He's alone. Hunter's so far away, Alex. They're going to overwhelm him.
niko and amanek evacuate.
They're coming in. They're coming in.
They come. Nexa gotta deal with a couple here.
Again, blind!
Straight into his crosshair. That's back-to-back impact with a white screen. Can they stop this plan? They want to disrupt. That nykytilan would be so perfect.
He's in!
Denied. Aggression from niko. Fighting fire with fire. They fire down 3 with the spray. Okay. G2 recover, and they've got Nexa to thank.
They got a little bit loud about that one there because they gambled correctly initially, but then they rotated back, and Nexa
clotheslines him.
He's just closing his eyes. The kills are coming to him. niko, he was fed up with this happening to him in the first half.
Yeah, exactly.
Get stuck on in, rub the salt in the wounds, and force ENCE down to the pistols here, this one.
What a finish this is. What a finale we're getting. This quarterfinal ending with a bang. There's an alternative to counter the CT aggression.
Just hang around to T-Spawn and set up a bit of a tank. We haven't seen that one before.
Imagine rounding that corner.
Yeah, they're happy to wait out the nykytilan here, but I think luckily for them, G2 threw out a lot early, so Molotovs top mid, a lot of HEs. You always need a bunch to deal with anything long. And it really is just Glocks here. The human centipede right now as they're going to follow each other around. amanek more than happy to pluck them off one by one. Hunter churning them up to the MP9. It sings. And amanek into the Tech 9 as well. So going to call the score 11-8. And the guns are about to come out here. Hades can buy a glass cannon AWP. Even can have a smoke for his troubles. amanek upgrades into an AWP of his own. And the buy right now for G2 looking good. They've got kits. They're going to have full nades as well. Need to get this first gun round here if we want this game to continue and be right down to the wire here for the finish. Now remember, I did say I spoke to Carrigan and he said overtime. Let's see if that comes true. The boost erected, the kill not found. amanek aware of the potential. But no longer dark push and stepping into it. Hades, that is quick.
There's a star in favor of ENCE. Uncertainty brewing as well in the G2 camp. No real clear picture as to where this T-side plan to conclude.
They are playing 2-2, and with the AWP down, it's hard to hold A without an AWP. Now, lucky for them, niko's rifle to the dome can occasionally look like an AWP with how quickly he can pluck them out, but he's going to have to hit bangers here. And I suppose more good fortune for niko is the fact there's no Molotov to disrupt that site position he currently holds on to. There will be a smoke wall most likely, as a mid to B smoke will hold the two players over towards this side of things. Nexa and Hunter now cottoned off from the team. Oh, and they push through, he's not ready.
Completely booked. Anything left to be said? It's not going to be Jax opting to play for the retake clear. The long door's late. They're saving.
Yeah, they picked up that AWP from Amanek's cold dead body. His death was, well, really just showing what was on the rest of the rounds here. ENCE pick up their 12th, and it feels easy.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how G2 were uncertain. ENCE kind of just keeping their cards close to their chest. And it led to niko's demise, just looking a bit silly there with his nade in his hand. Walking through that lurk smoke so often, even G2 giving us examples of it. It was just thrown out as a, you know, smoke and mirrors. So you can understand the justification for niko's actions. They are also exiting long safely. Jax is much, much quicker and more ahead of the pack. Won't be vulnerable or threatening.
All right, well, we're really going to go down to the wire here, I think. So we came out the gates with the pistol round for ENCE. The force buy back, saw 3 on the trot, and now a gun round in favor of ENCE here. And this is how it started, and this is how it finished. So both of the Polish players, two of the bigger names in this ENCE roster alongside a Spinx, showing up right here when they need to. It's a big game. The celebrations after this for ENCE could be wild.
Got a shot here. Doesn't quite connect it. Can't count the numbers either. Nexa, for now, solo B. Insignificant flak damage, and as I say that, there's some significant stuff found. Diha, Snappy. Looks like G2 are also playing the nade game.
Yeah, niko's been able to pick up another here. Now, that second nade can be used if he hears them jump on up towards Xbox. He could also save it as they start to regroup for the short. Execute and tag. Jax, you need to think better of that push, and he will.
Lucky boy.
Yeah, Hades holding that line. Probably going to be scratching his head as how that one didn't finish him off. Molly close doors. Clearing out anybody lurking up close and personal here from G2, but Snappy's out.
Ahead of it. Ahead of it, and knocks the head off of niko. And that's all they wanted. Gets the CTs back into a defensive stance. They're about to just wave into this A site.
They need to pull Amanek back here. He needs the orb to contest this. So they're changing positions with Jax, but is it too late?
He's got a lot to do. That's the chance, and it's shy. They were lined up. Could have been 2. It's none. And the flashes continue to suppress. Space is taken. Sight is theirs. ENCE flying that flag high.
It might have to be the save again here.
Peeks off his own flash. That would have been inspired.
Are they going to go for this? There's a lot to lose.
Maybe if he posts another. And Hunter's flirting with the idea as well. This after plant should be locked down. The flash is decent. Good snappy one out of Hunter. Diha trying to save the day. It's only Spinx now. G2, this retake was such a risk. And now, hard part surely concluded. Already on the
cover. Where's the cover?
He's going to get them both. Spinx brings home 13. And ENCE shatter G2 back down to Pocketlin and Peanuts. I mean, 8K on Jax. 4K for Hunter and niko. They went all in. Snappy started this, but it's Spinx that finishes. 13, Chad. They are 3 away from the major.
Oh, dearie me. What a huge round right there from Spinx. He didn't even hesitate, right? Nexa hadn't even touched the diffuse again. He just wanted to take the fight. He just wanted to get it done, and he does. And that's the last timeout now. Malik cannot contribute anymore. This will be the 30 seconds that count here for G2.
A map.
Delivering now, and yeah, you're right. So that cash you recounted right there should get the buy going. But there's a couple of unlucky, unfortunate members of this one here who are going to have to stomach a famous on Jax, who's given the AWP over to Amanek, and MP9 now for Nexa.
Amanek cannot afford to go down to that Hades fight. I wonder if he's going to be dissuaded from taking it.
Yeah, he has to get something done with this, right? They've invested a lot to make this part of the game plan here, and it's going to be the 3-2 split. Back towards long, they're going fast.
Okay, well that works for the G2 setup. There's 3 here to receive, the smoke to guise the cross, a chance for niko to strike, and he does string together some damage and a frag. His own nade looking promising too. There's more to come. Shots into the smoke. The Kovac cousins partner up and have succeeded. Spinks, the hero from the prior, does really look like he's up the creek without the paddle. Bomb loose under CT control. Spinks at 16 points of health.
Do they push forward, though? There's so much time for this. Amanek helping them clear out the corners, and Spinks just hanging. There's 2 players that are super low right here. niko's 1 bullet away. Hunter as well, and well, Amanek with the AWP. If he misses, he could die. Spinks could pull off something magical here. Oh, never mind. They're ready for it. They knew he was home. They clear it on out, and that necessary right now because we're talking about the finances here. ENCE are the ones who are stomaching a little bit of a struggle streak right now.
It was really up for debate, these fights. Nade from Nexa finished off what niko started. You can see Diha was an imposing presence at times, but okay, niko's double wraps us up. It's getting the fans excited. You can join them at IEM.GG/fancam if you want to talk through how this map is going to finish. Make your predictions. It's so up in the air, I truly don't know. Look at this buy, Chad.
Double AWPs here as well, coming out for G2, so ENCE have pushed all their chips into the middle of the table with this purchase here, and they're hedging that the B bomb site might be quite susceptible. Amanek going to post up towards back of plat. That's going to be perfect. Nexa over towards Car as well. It is a good setup to deal with a B pounce.
Amanek to be tested. Support in the form of Nexa.
You can see what Snappy's doing here, right? The hinge smoke will traditionally draw that CT player back, so he won't be able to contribute quickly if it is a B play, but Hunter being ahead of it, oh
Amanek's
dear,
leaving.
Oh dear, Amanek.
Amanek's leaving, he's gobbled up the bait, the hook is in his cheek. Nexa has got so much work ahead of him, still able to contribute on the first. Blind as a bat, Nexa's down, enter into the site, and Hunter activates only for the 1. This is so up for debate. Jack's going around the world. He will not have a chance to contribute in a while. niko only just arriving on the scene.
They've all got guns now. They've all got rifles here to lock out this site. Jax's utility from tunnels. What's he going to throw? How's he going to help them get back in?
It would have to be brilliant. You got a bricks molly from back there? Oh, no. Snappy playing 5D chess. Pulls the AWP out of the site. Nexa isolated. He wants to bring the fight to them, and he snaps into niko's head. G2, what have you got? Nothing is the answer. 14. It's secured by ENCE. They edge closer to the major, and you can see a stiff upper lip held. Do not break now.
I think they're broken G2 right now, and actually some giggles coming out because if they realize what they've done to the finances of G2 now, the red carpet has just been laid out. 2 more rounds. G2 have no money. They managed to get a total of 1,400 coming into that, and they've invested behind it. They have gone all in for this. The deagles are out. The armor's there as well. And this is it. This is the best opportunity ENCE are going to have to secure themselves this major slot. Just 2 more rounds. They win this. 1,900 in the next. It's going to be the same again. G2 have nothing to contest against this.
And G2 are going to have some more Counter-Strike to be played, not only determining their fate. FaZe fans watch on in horror.
And they've stayed up late for this. Bit of a horror movie.
Yeah, the late night special. I'd be munching through my popcorn at this point as well. Dust2 delivering. Take a look at the top right-hand side of your screen as well, changing and losing their own map picks. Both of these teams thrust into the new environment that is Dust2, and moments of heroics from everyone there. The call out Snappy inspired. The fact that G2 completely fell for their trickery.
I don't see how G2 can win this round, guys. Look at their buy. Somebody needs to step up massively here. This needs to be a mental individual performance on the pistols, and that's all they have, just pistols.
Genuinely has to be full frag movie. Like, we need Linkin Park to start playing now. Oy, 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 you wouldn't repeat that. niko's been brought down, cut down to 30 HP. There's a small window of opportunity onto the Hades orb. Oh, he dropped down. Does take the head. niko hitting shots. 2 down. Maybe a glimmer of hope. Into round 24. He's delivered whatever he could. Knew it had to be something special. It was. The boost, they've fallen off. It could be punishing. Almanek's filled the gap. The void is...
They're pushing!
And oh, Jack's another on the dig. G2 are not relenting just yet. It's Spinks for the one. Only Diha. He saved them once. Can he save them again?
He has been so good. His impact early was felt. And here, Jax, the warning shots are through.
They know where he is. They have the bomb. G2 have been given a lifeline. That's a 10th. As if this game couldn't get closer.
niko then knew exactly what he had to do. That is a big moment, right? He hasn't had an awful lot of kills here. Sure, it's 15, but this right here, the star player, the big signing, knowing exactly what he has to do when the pressure on. 2 massive kills out of him, and then Jax hitting 1 as well. They're the Deagle specialists for this team.
Getting my hairs on my arm on end, these shots, these situations.
Both teams with hodgepodge buys here. Famus for one side and a scout as well. Tech9s and Galils on the other, and then back towards these upper tunnels they go with the lion's share of the ENCE forces here. We've already seen G2 leave the bomb site susceptible in several occasions here. Will it be more of the same as peering on down? A lot of pressure towards that mid door. The hinge smoke dropped again, and they know exactly what that does. They know exactly how G2 reacts to this.
There goes Hunter.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They could just go towards A this time. And now if you're G2, you're going to want to stay stoic towards B. You're not going to want to cheat that rotate.
Oh, there's paranoia spreading just with Snappy's moves. He's pulling the strings, the puppet master. Okay, conducting business now.
They don't know where to be, where to stand. Think about when we saw this lurk smoke come out before. Diha ran through it, killed niko, run the round. When they've rotated away from the hinge smoke towards A, it's been the B hit, and now it's looking like the mid to B.
No one's looking. Hunter's considered it. That's the 2 smokes. Often with 2, that is the indicator of the commit. Both smokes have dropped. niko, what are you up to? That's quick. Super quick. That's the bomb as well. Can't quite catch Hades on the lip of the smoke. Game on. Play on. 30 seconds they're committing to B. Hunter to be tested. Nexa steps up as well. And G2 with all the names in the feed. Last of all is Hades. And G2, they weather the storm.
Oh, battening down the hatches here. This is going to be some comeback.
They've got their feet on dry land again, Chad.
Okay. ENCE down to no money here. It's their turn to stomach an eco round. Their round to chill on out and just consider those chances that were.
Bloody hell. Bloody hell. This is a game of Counter-Strike. The game we all know and love. I'm not sure any of the 10 people in the server love it right now.
The love-hate relationship right now.
Yep.
And we've seen this from ENCE already within this half. Now, when they've been forced down to the pistols in this similar stance, they just sit back and wait. They're doing the same here, playing in the fade of the smoke. They actually run on through. There was nobody aggressive, and they're barreling down middle right now. There is still a Deagle to play with here, and that's in the hands of Hades. They have the short control. A plant here would be great. Any damage they can do, any kills right now are worth their weight in gold.
Tested in a very big way. He'd love to do some damage. The nade looks promising. Strikes on the flash. Jackson support, but look at this. Snappy and Spinks already inflicting damage. niko has to find it now and has nothing from ENCE to report. A single frag. G2 will shrug that off. A step closer. Edging towards the 14 themselves.
The issue right now for G2 is in part of this comeback. As we move back into the gun rounds, they still have to keep as many players alive as possible because their loss bonus is in the fragile position of only $1,400. So at any point when they lose a round, their economy is immediately in question. If they can continue to work on the bank, we've got 4.6 on Hunter, that's the most. You need the rest of the players to start getting into that area to guarantee buys after buys. So this is such an important round right now. G2, they need to keep at least 3 here.
What do you do with Amanek? Like, that's my first question. Last time he whipped out this AWP, Chad, it was the beginning of that B-site end.
I think at least the fortunate factor here is ENCE can't afford an AWP of their own, and Hades hasn't gone for the scout. So the presence on the other side of the scope doesn't exist.
Okay.
Now, long spawns not in the favor of ENCE here, and they have taken a timeout to make this discussion. Sword chipping on in to talk things through with Snappy. 3 players currently position looking towards that B bomb site. Again, I said 2 over. Spinks and Doto, Snappy scoops up the bomb and he will join them. Xbox smoke out. Hades with an aggressive Molotov there. That's going to deny niko having a look for this. D-High outside long, and it looks like a default spread here. Really just going to bide their time and take their time. Amanek has been posted up towards long. That's where you want your AWPer to deal with these short plays. The flash helps clear out lower. It will be able to get the space that they require because the passive stance of G2 now has niko, the swingman in CT. Hunter and Nexa locking down towards that B bomb site. Amanek and Jax are partnered up to hold A. And we don't know exactly where ENCE want to finish this one, but as they start to jump up towards short, we're getting a good idea.
Snappy's got a full belt of util. Spinks as well. So both sides of the map, both of this two-pronged assault are equipped with viable nades.
niko's hedged. He's head back over towards A to help on out. If he can tuck into Goose or A ramp, that could be perfect. But right now, the defense is completely split.
Great catch. Snappy has a backup smoke. It's going to imply there's a lot more presence long than there is. And that forces them into a bit more vulnerable positions. Amanek's a sitting duck for sure. He only gets the one.
niko's down 2.
Up on the site. And down goes Jax. What a call. What a play for 15. Do they go for it?
You can't risk this. They need the money. It's 1,400, remember the loss bonus.
What a call.
It looked way too simple. All the eyes were drawn to long, ours too, and the kills came down on A.
Because you see 2 smokes and flashes coming in. Spinks confirms your suspicions. Jax is called in long. Amanek actively starts to move away from being exposed to long. Your ramp players can't be sitting ramp when the calls are like coming out like that. You put yourself right in the vice. Doto strikes, niko falls, and ENCE.
1 round.
1 single round for 4 players to secure their very first major.
You can't believe it here for Diha, Hades, Spinks, Doto.
Yeah.
This is the dream. Just 1 round of Counter-Strike, 5 frags away.
And Snappy giving us another prime example of someone just absolutely soaked in experience. You get to see it here from Spinks' position. What a shot. Spinks rising up the ranks of FPL. Noticed in a region that's so hard to break out of. But the beauty of the modern day internet era is he can turn heads and pop them from his bedroom. And now he's looking to knock a Titan down and secure himself a spot at the first major Counter-Strike has seen in 2 years, a 2-year hiatus from it, and his name could very well be inscribed in a sticker in the game if he could just find 5 clicks onto the 5 heads starting on that CT side. 10-second countdown begins, series point.
They've prioritized the AWP here from Amanek. That is a key, apparently, for this G2 game plan. It's in his hands. He doesn't have any armor to go with this, but a little bit of util. Next are into a Famis, the rest have rifles. There's even defuse kits. Now, if we get into sites, the retakes have to be on here. And this is fast towards middle with a util just to stifle that niko push. ENCE looking more prepared for this update so far. Deep mid smoke. Holds them at bay and spraying on through. Doto, his position is noted, but just take a look. The CTs were hanging around at short for a little bit long there. niko backpedaling and looking at Amanek to potentially do the same. They're gravitating towards this B-bomb side again, all getting soaked on up through the lower tunnels, greeting in upper dark, and it's all going to be on Nexa and Hunter here. They have to go at least 2 kills between them. At least.
At least an incendiary is all that separates them from them. Commit. Defensive flash. Time to strike. Snappy's already started as he means to go on. Swinging out. That's something. Nexa starting some resistance of its own, but Spinks again contributes. Diha can plant. The site is lost. G2 counting on the remaining 3 names. It's not easy, and AWP for the retake ain't ideal. Kits are present. Fights to be taken, and they can taste it. They can almost touch it. Util to be dropped. Amanek to strike as the flash and the attention is drawn tons. A lurky smoke should enable them a little bit of space to maneuver. Half bomb ticked. Striking again is Jax, hiding, cowering in fear is Diha. He's gone too. Can Spinks do it? Can he get himself to the major? Jax denies. He says play on. Malek's a happy coach. Good God. I'm genuinely on the floor.
Let that one sink in. They just retook the bomb site with a man disadvantage.
Man disadvantage, Chad. I was convinced.
A man disadvantage here, and they've been able to pull off a miracle round like this.
Rumba.
They kept themselves cool, they kept themselves calm, and Jax does what Jax does best. Hit the headshots necessary here. It got close. It got close indeed, but here we go again. The gun's back out for ENCE. Not short on funds, not short on ideas. I'm sure Snappy has a call to immediately punish this.
Amanek contributes.
Well, they can just play the number advantage
now. You
now.
can see immediately they just pull back into the site. Set up the barricades.
You're going to have to ask some real hard questions here in the next minute, 20 seconds if you're ENCE.
That four-letter word?
No, I'm not. But if something else goes wrong, if they lose another player, and then at that point you really need to start having that discussion, because next round, I always talk about the money here. Wait, they've slipped in head of the molly again. niko's gone down to this before. He needs to be careful.
Smokes. Has he got anyone with util? It's unlikely. Swallows the flash.
They're going. The bomb's going.
They're accelerating straight into the B site. Hunter and Nexa have to do it again.
They've hit pause. They've hit pause.
Coming in top mid, I wonder. He gets no info on this. Spinks just out of the smoke, strikes again, but suddenly it's all blue on brown, and we go again. They're left with nothing. ENCE. Last round of regulation, and it's not pretty. Is it hero AKs? Do you go Tech 9 armor? What is the answer?
I can't believe we're about to...
What was the...
We're about to go to overtime.
In the first half, Chad, G2 won 3 of the last 5 rounds of play. Otherwise, that half would have been 12... Like, my maths is so bad. 13-2. The same score as Nuke, but on the other foot. G2 recovered with some solid T play, and it's put them in a position now where they can keep the dream alive of legend status.
Look at what they got here.
Smash the dreams of ENCE down.
This is just some Deagles, some Tech 9s, a scout in play here. There's plenty of util, and it looks like, again, they want to head towards B. And we've spoken about throughout this half, that hinge smoke, how it draws G2 into question. Just a smoke is able to confuse them here as Hades is looking for a pick. Doto working on their Xbox control as well. And, well, if you're Hunter, be very, very careful. You don't put a foot out of line. They're heading over towards niko, who's waiting for the flash of Amanek. He's going to be mollied. He can't step into that. He has to drop on off. Molly to slow them down. A deep nade, but it's a little bit too late there. Snappy's the only one to take some damage, and they've got this short control that they were looking for. A lurk smoke towards B, and one in exchange from the CT, so negating each other's presence here.
Out the doors again.
Hunter
striking, and not gently. So many bodies. He mows them all down. We're off to overtime unless Spinks has got something out of the realms of possibility. Nexa confirms it. G2 extend play, and we have to go to OT. It's Valve rules. 10K. Start it from the top again. This game delivers. We'll take a quick one and be right back to find out exactly how on earth this ends.
Nice, guys. Maybe you? Nice shot.
Need to bet, sorry. Whoa.
Let's go,
got
guys.
it like a god.
Guys,
let's open or
waiting. Nice shot. It was just single scout. No, off you mid. Maybe short was. Nice, guys. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up, guys. Half by now. Yeah, let's go.
Nice! Sick, bro! You're insane.
Sick, bro. All good. Nice. Still 10 HP. Holding tunnel for a bit. Back plaster. 10 HP. Nice! Belong as well. He killed me and I went lower. He could be nice! Marco! Go. Red, flash. Window this one. Nice! Well, the nades must have hit because I got 2 assists. Yeah.
Nice.
Let's go, please. Let's go. Nice, good job. Nice, guys, good job, Arbos. That's fun, really. Let's go.
Let's go, we can still win the fight. Come on.
Nice,
let's go.
See, come around. Nice, good, next time. Nice, good job. Focus. Finish fast. Let's go, ready? Let's go, boys. 3, 2, 1. One more thing. Nice, guys. Let's go.
Let's fight till the end.
Your channel was
Let's
edited.
Play. You're gonna win.
Let's go.
Go.
All good.
I can reflash. I can reflash. Nice! Nice, Niko!
Be short. One more.
Nice, guys.
Nice entry. Take Pavel and Oleg. Ball is 2.
Let's go!
Wait.
Make a deal. 2v1. Ale, let's go. Let's buy and do complexity again, okay? I have.
I smoke him going.
Nice! Catch it, let's go. Flash window. I flash window.
Win. Up outside, up outside. Nice. Nice. I took MVP on it. Let's go, guys. Do you want complexity? Short push! Short push. Go under me and crouch.
Nice! Let's go, boys. Not over. Bad in it.
Nice.
Nice.
Last one. Window.
Nice! There we go. Nice. Focus.
Nice! Jack call. Sick Jack call, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
The smoke door has faded.
Not allowed. The smoke.
It was 14-9, Chad. Niko had to step up with a frag movie play, we said, and yeah, we find ourselves slap bang into overtime. Inseparable.
I can't believe it. He had to step up in a superstar moment, and he did. And the chips were down in a big way here, but the rounds that G2 were able to scrape together...
Retake? The man disadvantage retake?
Insane. Absolutely insane. But the work's not done for either team here. And now, as you mentioned, MR3, but with 10k, Valve's rules. We won't have the 16k. The economy will play a big factor in this one right now. So let's take a look, because some players might be a bit more conservative, especially on the CT side. Orpa's not being able to invest as much here, but let's take a look. We're getting this one underway. ENCE continuing on the T side, G2 on that CT half, and towards B with the early presence.
Didn't catch a glimpse. He was looking for info early there, Niko. Didn't get too much to work with. And a CT smoke doesn't seem to be too much of a deterrent. Diha making it clear he's ready to fight, ready to brawl.
I'm curious if G2 think they can keep getting away with what they were doing, right? Because it was them who were being dictated. The game was coming to them and they were having to defend. It doesn't look like they've opted for any changes here. Jax, our most forward member right now for this defense, is, as you can see, almost in a line over towards middle. 5 players from ENCE make a bit of a T-bar. 1 towards lower, 1 up short, and 3 in that mid corridor. Niko's nade, again, a little bit shy, and baiting these out has never been more important. There's the limp smoke over towards the bridge. Niko drops the molly to slow them down. Diha this time round will respect it. Starting to run out of nades here, Niko, still with 55 seconds left on the clock and 1 smoke in his hand. He doesn't want to let them through.
Pushes closer to it.